All right. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This will be a ranking of the Treehouse of Horror segments and intros from season one, from Treehouse of Horror 1 all the way to the current one, Treehouse of Horror 33, 34, right?
Let me check.
34.
No, 30. Sorry. Yeah. It was season 34 was the last one. So it'll be Treehouse of Horror 34 is this year.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool. So we have our tier list here. Just to kind of explain the tiers a little bit. Oh, sorry. Introducing, this is my sister, Kylie.
Hello.
She'll be joining us. Basically, we both watched each episode of Treehouse of Horror, ranked each segment. So we're going to be comparing our scores to hopefully get a pretty evenly ranked, pretty fair list of all of the segments and intros here. So just to explain the tiers a little bit, we have Halloween Horror Classic, which of course 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
S tier. We have Terrifyingly Terrific. A tier, which is 8 or 9. It's pretty good. It's got some really good scares. Mainly, maybe it focuses on Halloween specifically. Just a good time at Halloween. Spooky Good Time. This one maybe has some good scares, maybe some really good jokes. It's a average good time. More funny than scary. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. No fun, no scares. Obviously, it's okay. It's as an episode. It's not the worst.
It's decently. It's decent. Some sort of decent parody.
Yeah.
Of something.
Right. But not the one I would click on first. Yeah. And then Past This House. Obviously, just skip this segment. Overall, not really worth the time to watch it. So, anyways, to get right into it, the very first episode, it was on season 2. Mm-hmm. It was actually called the Simpsons Halloween Special for the first 12 specials. So until season 14.
Treehouse of Horror 13.
Yes. That's when it was first called Treehouse of Horror. So anyways, we're going to be ranking intros and segments separately. For the first 5 for the first 5 Halloween specials, they had through lines that all basically just be lumping in together with the intros. So for the first intro, for the very first one, we have...
The first one was Marge coming out, the classic opener.
Mm-hmm.
Marge, put your kids away. This is not for them.
Very iconic.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And then also the jokes on the gravestones, I feel like is a really good one. The through line here, though, is the Treehouse of Horror.
Is where it all started. The 3 kids trying to out scare each other by telling scary stories in the treehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I ranked the opener just based on Marge coming out on the curtain, but if I have to lump in the through line with it, it is it is literally where it started. So I would actually change my old score to like A tier just because of the through line.
Oh, you only think the through line gets it an A tier though? I think the through line is an S tier just because I don't know. It's so Halloween. It's them in the treehouse. They even have some decorations, pumpkins. The severed finger.
Oh yeah.
And I love Homer just sitting outside the whole time listening to the stories, actually getting way more scared than the kids.
Yeah. It is pretty good.
It was so good that the namesake, literally people thought of it as Treehouse of Horror. And so they had to basically change the name.
Fair enough. Yeah, all right. It is the first. It's where it all began. I will concede.
Okay. All right. I think we should get it started on a good note,
Fair enough.
Speaking of good notes, Bad Dream House.
Bad Dream House. Also, for me, S tier.
Yeah.
It was, everything you would want in a Halloween parody.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary. It had really good jokes. All the gravestones under the basement were great. My favorite personally is you didn't tell me this was like, well, you didn't tell me this was on an Indian burial ground? You did. Well, yeah, I didn't like, and he ended
well,
up
that
telling.
wasn't my recollection.
Yeah, hangs up. Apparently, he told us like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like that's just a great joke.
Honestly, yeah, it's as scary. I think honestly, if you were to rank how scary each one of these are, these probably at least top 5.
Yeah,
scariest.
That one's a good one for like
It's got some creepy
Halloween
atmosphere, yeah, but it's also has some great jokes. So honestly, S tier. Okay. Now the next one is Hungry Are the Damned. So this is the one where the Simpsons get abducted by aliens.
King Kodos and guest appearance by James Earl Jones. Was it Snurlock?
No, it was Searock.
Searock, the preparer.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's pretty funny that he says in order to say his name, he would have had to tear out his tongue, and then he goes on to say his name. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. But anyways, yeah, I would say I didn't necessarily give this an S tier. I mean, it wasn't the scariest. It does introduce Kang and Kodos, of course, first appearance. Very iconic, continues to live on. But anyways, I don't know.
I have this one as an A tier.
A tier? I have it as a B tier, to be honest.
It wasn't the scariest. It wasn't the spookiest.
But was it terrifyingly terrific?
It was just a spooky good time, I guess. Yeah. If I had to use it describing those actual words, I would probably just say spooky good time if I was talking about it.
Right. So, I mean, How to Cook for 40 Humans?
Yeah.
Obviously it's a good Twilight Zone parody.
Yeah.
All right. The last segment of the very first special is The Raven. I really personally like this segment just because I really like Edgar Allan Poe, and also James Earl Jones has just an amazing narrating voice, so you can't really go wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just a typical reading, but I think it's got some really good, like, it's just, I don't know. I would say it's a spooky good time.
Yeah, I'm like, that's where I put it. It was spooky good time.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was terrifying. Like, Edgar Allan Poe is good, but Homer, like, trying to be in an Edgar Allan Poe speaking those words also takes me out of it a little bit.
Maybe it's just that it's season 1 Homer, because I think Homer has actually a very nice voice.
Sure, but I think it's just more of like...
when he articulates well.
Yeah, it's just... I think it's just funny, because it's like, Homer, of all people, reading Edgar Allan Poe, Old English language. It's just very funny. And it's kind of... The juxtaposition is funny to me.
All right, so I think we're in agreement. Spooky good time. Yeah. Was it better than Hungry Are the Damned? Nah.
No, yeah.
Nah. Yeah, I think Hungry Are the Damned kind of has a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anyways, on to the Simpsons Halloween Special 2. So this intro and through line, basically the intro again was Marge with the curtains, had a little funny joke with showing an old movie. Can't remember the name, and then the through line was the candy bad dreams. Yeah. So Lisa was a totem pole, Bart was an executioner, and they basically all had bad dreams. I really love that joke in the beginning. Yeah, 3 bad dreams, Marge. Yeah. What, like the chance of that'll happen,
Yeah, the foreshadowing. They're great at that. I like to point out that, when Blake and I did do a trivia night out in Phoenix, when it was the 2 of us competing against, we did get second place in this Treehouse of Horror specific trivia night. And it was the 2 of us, and we got second place, and the first place people was like a group of 8 people. So I think we held on pretty well. And I just like to point out that I remembered that Lisa was a totem pole, and so I got us that point on that question. So
yeah, no, shout out for you on that. We did win that. So okay. Anyways, the through line, the candy bad dreams. I wouldn't say it's as iconic as the B-tier. Original.
It's a spooky good time. Like, there's not a whole lot to it. It sets up the premise, but it's not like... terrifyingly terrific, if you're going to put it in those words.
Yeah, I guess. Man, we really set a high standard with that.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's kind of funny. Okay, anyways.
It's fine. Right. There's plenty of other A tier things later.
Move on to the next segment.
What would it clown? Wait. No. Sorry, the monkey's paw. I was looking at the wrong one. Yep. So monkey's paw is Lisa's dream. Lisa's nightmare. I put that one specifically as an A tier. I loved Monkey's Paw. Monkey's Paw is one of those ones that I love watching.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a really good time.
Yeah.
I would say it's only a spooky good time. I don't know if I'd put it under terrifyingly terrific though. Just because I was actually, I'm not even kidding. I was actually tempted to put this under more funny than scary.
Interesting.
Because it is. It's just.
But I think
it's got some good jokes.
I'm like, I just feel like the ambiance of the monkey paw.
Yeah, but that's just.
It's creepy.
But it's in like a casual Simpsons setting.
Fair. That's fair.
See, exactly right. Now I got you thinking. All right.
No, I'm just wondering if I should concede again.
Was it spooky good time? No, I'm
if
okay with putting it in spooky good time.
If it goes in spooky good time, it needs to be the top of the tier.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Because I love that. That is one that I enjoy watching over and over.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't get tired of that one.
I never get tired of the monkey's paw.
Yeah, they'll always have bigger nails and bigger boards. Yeah. That's always great.
Or even just I got it from a stand right over there. Oh no, wait, it's over there.
Yep. Yeah. That's why I was saying, I feel like it's more funny than scary, but okay.
But still,
it's fine. I'm okay with it. Okay. Anyways, the next one.
Bart's Nightmare, which is the Twilight Zone parody, one of their many Twilight Zone parodies. What you call it?
The Bart Zone.
The Bart Zone.
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia says.
Interesting. I didn't see Wikipedia didn't give me one other than Bart's Nightmare is all I was seeing it called.
Oh, true.
But I put that one as a B tier. It's spooky, it's creepy.
Yeah.
But I feel like it only stays that way for the first little part of the segment, and then the whole rest of the time is him and Homer doing their therapy session.
To be fair, they're kind of short segments. So
I know, but that's what I'm saying is in just a short segment, the majority of the segment is him and Bart as Homer and Bart bonding time. It stopped being spooky after the first 2 minutes.
Honestly, there's a lot of segments that do that start out with really creepy potential, and then halfway through just end up being a ton of jokes.
Yeah, and honestly, so I would put, even C tier maybe, more funny than scary. It started creepy for the first 2 minutes, but then it was all jokes.
Right.
It became not creepy anymore.
I'm comfortable putting it there.
All right,
and on to the next one. If I only had a brain.
Yeah, Homer's Nightmare. Mm-hmm. I put this one as D tier.
Yeah, so basically Homer gets fired from his job at the power plant. He gets a job as a grave digger and then ends up falling asleep in a grave. Mm-hmm. Pretty funny. Mr. Burns captures him and wants to use his brain for his perfect worker robot, but of course he
basically like a Frankenstein's monster type of deal.
But of course he uses Homer's brain, so
that only goes so well.
Yep. I would say it's
spooky. It wasn't that spooky. It wasn't.
I put it in more funny than scary.
I don't even know if it was that funny to me.
I think it is. I think the jokes of them, Mr. Burns has some really good jokes with, Mr. Smithers in here too. And I guess, them eating pizza while they're working on it is kind of funny. Mm-hmm. The ice cream scoop. Okay. Well, on to the third Halloween special now. So this intro was Homer in front of the curtains, Alfred Hitchcock style. But also the through line was Halloween party scary stories. Mm-hmm. I think that, honestly, this one is the best of the through lines.
It's a very cute one. With they're throwing a party. Marge is trying to keep it creepy.
Yeah.
But then everyone is ruining everything.
Just Homer.
As per usual.
Just Homer. He's just eating the food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think I would put it in terrifyingly terrific. I don't know. No, I would say it's the best one though. So I want to put it ahead of this one.
You're going to put it in S tier?
You know what? Maybe we should move this one down here.
Which one?
This.
The original Treehouse of Horror you're putting down there?
I don't know. What do you think of that?
No, I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was like, I think
Do you think it's better than this one?
No, I honestly put that opener as a C tier.
What?
Like spooky good time. It wasn't scary. It was a fun little Halloween party.
You know,
I know. It's
Man, I feel like I put it at terrifyingly terrific. I mean, I just feel like it's the best of the through lines. What do you think?
I don't know. I didn't think it was the best of the through lines just because it was just a fun little Halloween party. There wasn't necessarily anything spooky about it. There was no weird happenings. It was just they were throwing a party and wanted to tell scary stories.
Yeah.
There was nothing like Halloween about it other than the fact that it was a Halloween party. Like they did, because I like when they go outside of their characters and storyline, but this one was them just throwing a Halloween party. So it was like, it was a spooky good time, but it wasn't, it wasn't scary. It wasn't a parody. It wasn't, I don't know. That was
I'll put it ahead of
this
one.
Opinion.
I'll put it ahead of this one because I think it's better than that one.
All right.
But of course it's not like a segment. So
yeah.
All right, the next one, because we got a lot to get through here, is A Clown Without Pity. Of course,
Krusty the Clown doll comes to life.
Yep, and Bart gets an evil Krusty doll from Homer.
I put that as that would be like terrifyingly terrific, I think.
Really?
He was a killer clown like the whole time.
Yeah, okay. I guess if you're scared of clowns.
Most people, I'm not necessarily
most
scared of
people. Yeah, sure.
But it's like the little doll's trying to kill Homer the whole time, and it keeps with the theme the entire time.
Dude, I thought it was hilarious.
It is very funny.
I put it in more funny than scary, because the doll's trying to kill me, and the toaster's been looking at me funny. I just
fine. I will concede.
Yeah, I'd say it's more funny than scary. I definitely think it's more funny than all of these segments, though.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, King Homer, King Kong parody, but like early King Kong parody. I'd also put this in more funny than scary.
I put this no fun, no scares.
What? You didn't even laugh?
I didn't even think it was that funny. Like there were only like one or two jokes for me. I don't know. I think this episode has got some really good jokes. Women and semen don't mix. And okay.
Also like Mr. Burns throwing the grenade like barely. I think that I crack up every time I see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of those were cheap
Homer
laughs.
King Homer barely climbing up the building.
Yeah.
Wow, fine, look at the size of that platform.
Yeah. Okay, fine. More funny than scary. We'll go with that.
Okay, fine. All right. Where do you think it should go, though? Do you think it's more funny than these, or? I mean, I'll put it at the bottom just because you.
All right.
All right. I'll put it at the bottom. All right. I think we're going to be in agreement for this next one.
I think so.
Dial Z for zombies.
I put A.
What?
Like terrifyingly terrific. I don't necessarily think it's S tier.
What? Okay, so The Simpsons has a few zombie episodes, and I think this is
the best one. Zombie episode. That's for sure.
But it's so good. It's like it's got everything. It's got the perfect spooky atmosphere. They're outside of just the house. They're actually doing things. There's a supernatural element. There's really good jokes. Wow, you killed the zombie Flanders? He was a zombie? I love that one.
Man, I don't know why I'm just not feeling S tier as much for this one. But I guess, like I can see how it really does You think
Bad
everything.
Dream House is better than this one?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
You know what? What, bottom of S tier?
Sure. We'll do that.
All right. Wow.
Like I can't actually verbalize why I don't think it's S tier.
Surprising. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to move this if I can. No. All right. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, on to the fourth one.
Treehouse of Horror 4. The opener.
Halloween special.
Halloween special. Sorry. Unfortunately, I did not write descriptions of any of the things that happened, so I just have a rating.
It's fine.
What was the opener?
Okay, so the intro, it was just the gravestones, but then there was also the through line was Bart's art gallery.
Oh, yeah, I put that one as a spooky good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a good little parody, but like there wasn't anything like spectacular about it.
I would agree with that. I would say it's better than the Candy Bad Dreams, but not better than the Halloween stories, though. Are you fine with that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. The first segment.
So this one's The Devil and Homer Simpson, which is him basically trading his soul for a donut.
Oh man, so funny.
You know, classic Homer. You can't. None of us are surprised.
Well, I mean,
and then he literally goes to trial, and we find out Marge is the one who truly owns his soul. So
which is a cop-out, but it's fine.
He couldn't have traded it to the devil.
Yeah,
which is very funny. I put this as also spooky good time.
I don't know. I feel like this would be a good, like, terrifyingly terrific.
But it wasn't terrifying.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, really the only, like, dark thing is Ned Flanders as the devil.
Yeah. Like, he shows up as the devil, but the whole time he's not serious or scary.
So then is it more funny than scary?
No, because I think there was still some of that, like, spooky element to it, but it just wasn't terrifying.
So where in the spooky good time are we going to have it?
You put that wherever you want, because honestly, I can't even see those from here.
Here. Oh. This tier list, or this section is going to get pretty full.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd put it the second. Like Monkey's Paw, I still like better, but there's a special place in my heart for Monkey's Paw.
All right. Well, the second segment
was Terror at 5.5 Feet, another Twilight Zone parody. Bart Simpson is convinced he sees a little demon like tearing up the school bus, and nobody believes him. They think he's insane. I would put this one as terrifyingly terrific. The whole ambiance the entire time was great. Mm-hmm. He ends up going to a psych ward in the end. Mm-hmm. Like there was no like nice little tie up.
Yeah.
There were some good jokes. There were definitely some good jokes in it, but it definitely kept the theming throughout, which I really like.
I would honestly agree 100%. Yeah. Like the stormy atmosphere on the bus, like as a kid, you kind of remember like those stormy days riding on the bus, like, and definitely the gremlin killing Ned Flanders and having his head at the end, that was great. Yeah, I definitely solid A tier.
Yeah, solid A tier one. Wasn't one that was like my absolute favorite, but like definitely good spooky all throughout, and less jokes than.
Definitely a lot less jokes.
Like less jokes, more scary, which is what I usually like in a Halloween special. Is like only a couple of jokes, mostly spooky.
Right.
That's my thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then last segment of Halloween Special 4 is Bart Simpson's Dracula, which is just a direct parody of Dracula, like the old Bram Stoker Dracula in the. What was it, the 90s?
Somewhat like that.
Early 2000s? I
can't even remember. It starred Gary Oldman and Keanu Reeves and, Anthony Hopkins, Winona Ryder.
Late 90s, early 2000s. It was one of those.
Yeah.
So this one I put as Spooky Good Time also.
Whoa.
What did you put it as?
Jeez, I put it as S tier.
Really?
This one's great. This one has like a spooky vibe throughout. Honestly,
I thought there were more jokes in this one though than spooky.
I feel like no, the whole vibe of them going to Mr. Burns' castle, in Pennsylvania. I feel okay. So I feel like this may be a solid A tier because it mixes the jokes with the spooky vibes so well. And honestly, the
Super Happy Fun Slide. Well,
when am I ever going to be here again?
When am I ever going to be here?
Oh, I love that. So I don't know. All right,
I will agree. I will compromise with A tier.
Okay. And also the joke at the end where they all start singing the Charlie Brown Christmas song will always kill me. Makes me laugh every time. All right.
Okay.
The fifth honestly, the best, if not tied for best. Yeah. Interestingly,
This enough. Is one of those. This is one of the Treehouse of Horrors. Yeah, that, like I am okay rewatching all of these episodes. All the time.
I am so glad I got it on VHS. It was the best viewing experience. I'm not even gonna lie. All it was great. We'll it was great. Your
word for that.
Yeah. So, anyways, the intro has the iconic Marge with the curtains, but then after that, Bart and Homer take control, a la Twilight Zone again of your TV.
I think that one was actually an Outer Limits.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Like I think if I'm, maybe I'm incorrect, but I remember watching the Outer Limits.
Source unknown.
Yeah, it was another similar. It was an anthology series.
Yeah,
it was sci-fi, but the beginning of that one was, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it was that.
Well, anyways, yeah, so the This Is My Voice on TV.
Yeah.
It was literally just that, and then the Graveyard Stones. This one did not have a through line.
Is this the first one that didn't?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I don't have one written here. So
I put the opener as an A tier.
A tier, terrifyingly terrific.
Yeah. What did you put it as?
Based on the rest of these, honestly, I'd put it as more funny than scary.
Really?
And honestly, kind of down here. Yeah, it's not that good. The intro is the lowest point of the episode. I mean, it's like, okay, it's got a funny joke with Homer joking about the line, but the line isn't scary or anything.
Maybe I just feel that way about it because I used to watch The Outer Limits, and so I really like the intro. But maybe that's just for nostalgia reasons.
Yeah, of course. No, I think that's a good fit. All right. Anyways, let's move on to the hard hitters, though.
Yep.
The shinning. Let's just throw that right up here.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about
that. That's honestly the best. Everybody already knows. If you don't know, go watch it. All right. Time and Punishment. I put all this S tier. I'm not even gonna lie. Every single one I put is S tier. So how you want to go about this? S tier is
great.
All of them?
I don't know what else we're gonna say,
dude. This one.
This whole season was.
This is peak. This is peak science fiction Simpsons right here.
It is.
And this is Nightmare Cafeteria is the scariest.
The scariest in Simpsons terms episode that they have, and I love it.
100%. Yeah.
I love that the whole time it is like it's creepy, it's weird, and like the teachers are eating the kids, and even Milhouse gets killed in a giant blender.
Just the shot of the blender, honestly, the blender hilarious that it's a Hamilton Beach. I'm not even going to lie. It makes me laugh.
Absolutely.
But the shot of the blender with the blood splatter is just kind of horrific the show. It's like, geez, it's so graphic.
Yeah, I'm like, it feels like for a Simpsons episode, you're like, wow, they actually did that. Okay.
Right. Okay, so on to the intro for season 6. This was just simply Krusty the Headless Horseman. It was very simple. I put this as honestly like no fun, no scares. But I mean, it's kind of spooky. Funny?
I have this one as S tier.
Really?
Why? I think it was because the whole thing was just Halloween. It was just in your face Halloween. Yeah. Like there was nothing else about it. It was just great. It was just a great little intro.
Really?
Like, I don't know. And we can put it in like A tier.
I don't know. I think it was
terrifyingly terrific. What was wrong with it?
Personally,
other than the fact that
it was so short. It was literally
short.
Just him.
It was short, but it was heavy hitting.
Yeah, but is it better than the Halloween stories or the Bart's art gallery?
See, well, that's why we put it straight up in A tier, and then we just, put it at the bottom of A tier.
That's funny. You know what? I'll put it at the top of B tier. How's that for you?
Fine.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Okay, what was the next one? Oh. Okay. Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores.
Yeah, this one I put is more funny than scary.
Oh, I put it straight like no fun, no scares.
Oh, like, man.
There wasn't even like necessarily gore. I think a couple people got squished.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I was like, okay. You got giant billboard signs coming to life. It was funny.
Yeah, and then it kind of ended with a jingle.
It kind of ended with a jingle, and you're just like, all right.
Yeah.
That one isn't my favorite one to watch.
Yeah, okay.
And especially now where that the jingle was sung by Paul Anka.
That aged poorly. I don't even know. Poorly. I have no idea who that is.
I mean, I realize now who it is. He's the guy who put your head on my shoulders. Apparently, he's saying that. Yeah, so like he's been around for a long time, but like our generation now, it's not a very popular name, so it's
whatever. Moving on to a much better one, Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. I think we're just going to throw that in S tier.
Another one of my
honestly, I'll put it right behind.
I put it right behind Shining.
The Shining.
Sorry.
Shinning. You think so? Should we move this one up?
And Nightmare Cafeteria. Those should be the top 3. Shinning, Nightmare Cafeteria. Okay. And
I'm with that.
And Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace, top 3 for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Literally, Willie just sitting there patiently burning alive cracks me up.
Yes. No, that's amazing.
Okay. So anyways, the next one, Homer Cubed. Yeah, I know. So honestly, we talked about this one because this is a fan favorite. Because at the time, seeing a 3D Homer was cool,
and it was at that time a very expensive and like it was a stunt. They did the stunt because at that time it was expensive and new to have 3D animation. But watching it now, it's not scary. It's not like
that funny.
It's not that funny.
Has anybody seen Tron?
Yeah, and then
and that refers to the much older one. So
and then him trying to jump across the thing and then falling right down.
Crap.
Like that's about it.
The funniest joke I think.
But I'm like, and that's and those are just like barely a part of it.
So it pains us to say
past this house.
No, I'm putting it in no fun, no scares, and you're not convincing me otherwise. So you still got to watch it.
We'll put it at no fun, no scares, just because it is a historical piece.
It's better than Attack of the 55 stores for sure.
Sure.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. The 7th one. This is Homer lighting a jack-o'-lantern, catching himself on fire. Mm-hmm. Also, very similar to the vibes that I think you were describing.
Yeah.
In the other one, so I think I'll just throw it right here just to freaking get it over with.
I think that could go in A tier.
Oh, come on.
It's Halloween. It's funny. Lights himself on fire.
It's another flaming pumpkin. What do you want me to do?
It's short. It's sweet. It's Halloween. What are you going to tell me? It's terrifyingly terrific to me.
Because I know that there's other intros in the future that are much better than that one.
That's fine. I think it's much better than anything that's in that tier currently.
Wow.
Like, I like a good Halloween.
Do you know what? All right, fine.
Violent episode.
I'll put them at the bottom of A tier, and it's probably not going to move from that position.
I just love when they put any sort of like little violent intro. It's fun.
Okay. All right.
Especially when it's a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. Good old Halloween time.
That's a fair point. Okay, so the first one is The Thing and I. So this is Bart has an evil twin that they hide in the attic. I think it has really good spooky vibes.
Yeah.
I just put it in a spooky good time.
Yeah, okay.
What were you going to say?
It's just not my favorite episode, but like, yeah, it's a spooky good time.
Yeah, it's not my favorite episode either.
It's got the good vibes.
Yeah. It's got really good creepy vibes.
Yeah, I would put it at the bottom though.
Yeah, we'll put it at the bottom. Okay. The Genesis tub.
This one I put more funny than scary, or even no fun, no scares.
That's where I was going to suggest.
It's a good sci-fi, but there's not anything funny, and there's not anything that's scary.
Yeah, I mean
it's a good episode, but like it's not funny, not scary. There's not like really any jokes in that one that I like.
And it doesn't have a good ending.
Yeah, that too. She just gets stuck there, and you're just like, okay. Yeah, and the guy's like, "I'll get her socks." That was it.
That's a funny joke.
But it's so tiny. Yeah. It's such a tiny joke. Where
exactly right.
It doesn't make your belly laugh. I'm like, I'll get her some socks.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Right. Okay. Citizen Kane.
Oh, absolutely. Past this house.
Yeah, just past this house.
One of those ones that did not age well at all just because nobody knows who those politicians are. I mean, I guess you could laugh at the fact that like, oh, it's a 2-party system. You have to vote for one of us. Mm-hmm. You know, that's somewhat funny and I guess relatable, but
yeah, any of the political Halloween things don't really age well, and that's just obvious. Like that just has to do with time, you know. Okay, so on to the 8th one. I really liked this intro. This is with the fox sensor brutally getting
absolutely
murdered.
This is one of the greatest intros, I think.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Well, and it's like, and the rating keeps going up the more he kills him.
I'd put this at terrifyingly terrific, solid, right above that.
I also put that there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The first segment,
Omega Man. Trying to remember which one this is.
So this is the one where the Springfield insults France. France sends a rocket, and Homer ends up being the last person.
He's in the bomb shelter and he wins.
I've wasted my life.
I've wasted my life. So Homer lives and then comes out and is the last man on Earth, supposedly. Yeah.
This one has some really good jokes.
Yeah.
You know,
has good jokes.
I'd say it's more funny than scary.
A-tier.
Ooh.
I liked it just because in the end, with all of the people who ended up actually surviving,
the mutants,
and then I think that's pretty good. Yeah, and then the Simpsons just blasting them all. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a good ending.
Okay, I would say it's a solid A tier.
Yeah, I'm like, I like that one. That's a good one.
All right, I'll give.
And
on
then
that.
As you were arguing with me before about this, before we started recording this, the little Bart, little Lisa. Little Marge,
and the rest.
Yeah.
Great
joke. Yep. Anyway.
Okay, so the next one, the middle segment, is Fly versus Fly.
Another one we argued about earlier.
Yeah, so she actually persuaded me a little bit more on this one. Mm-hmm. I still say it's a spooky good time. Just because it has some pretty good,
I will give you spooky.
Dude, I hate bugs, and that fly head just freaks me out, and especially all the drool and.
I know, but then I'm like, for me, that's cheap. I'm just like, you can make a fly gross, and like that, but that doesn't scare me,
right?
Like I'm just like, cool, you made a fly head,
yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm supposed to be afraid of the whole time. Mm-hmm. But I do like the a lot of really good jokes, like Homer trying to use it as a bathroom. Like putting one of those little, what are they called? The matter transporters in front of the toilet, and then another one. Yeah.
Homer, don't use that thing. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Good jokes. You said it's got some spooky ambiance and.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So the last one of the 8 is Easy Bake Coven.
I love this one.
This one's really good.
Because this one's a classic Halloween origin story.
Yeah, it's the origin of Halloween.
So I put it as A tier. Like, it's not like one of the best episodes, but like absolutely A tier.
Better than Omega Man?
I love a good Halloween origin story.
Yeah, and obviously just the whole, obviously Witch Trials time is just a good,
Yeah, Witch Trials. It's a perfect Halloween setting.
Right.
I love it. All right, so
the intro for this next one was literally, it was a simple, Simpsons opening, Halloween style, but it ended with Freddy and Jason sitting on the couch.
Yes.
Very simple.
I did put it as S tier, though, because I like that this was the first one that they took the spin on the original intro. Like, we got to see the classic intro, but everyone was getting killed.
Interesting.
There were all the classic horror monsters.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I thought it was like, it's perfect. It's like a perfect parody of the intro, but everyone gets killed doing all of these things instead of just like, oops, we fall over. It's like everyone's getting murdered, and it's funny.
See, this is really interesting because I'll
settle for A tier.
I watched the Treehouse of Horror episodes from the newest episode back to the first.
Yeah.
And she started with the first to the newest. Mm-hmm. So I actually didn't experience that. But that's an interesting point. That is the first time that they did that.
It's the first time they do that. And so it's a really good time. So I'll settle for A tier. I put it as S, but I'll settle for A.
All right. I'll
loved
say that.
it. I thought it was great.
Okay. So the first segment of that next one is Hell to Pay.
Yeah, which great pun, by the way.
Oh man.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's Snake gets executed for. It was such a petty crime. What was it?
Well, no. Okay, so the thing is, it was his third offense, which was smoking inside the Quickie Mart.
Yep.
But his first 2 offenses were burning down an orphanage and trying to hijack a bus full of nuns. So his third offense, another trivia question that I got right for us.
That is hilarious. That is so funny.
Yeah, so it was absolute insanity. But yeah, his third offense was smoking inside the Quickie Mart, and that's what got him the electric chair.
But yeah, so Homer gets his hair as a result, and his snake's hair ends up taking control of Homer, but he wants to kill Bart,
killing all the witnesses
because Bart was a witness. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, the I don't know. I'd say it's a spooky good time. It's a pretty good.
I mean, I put this one as A tier, just because
A tier. I don't think it's that
just
high.
Because the whole thing, you got like literally an execution, and then the whole time he's like taking control of him. The very end of the episode, they're killing the hair. Like, I feel like the whole thing just like it's got a real good story arc in that one.
Oh, okay. I mean,
because like we said, some of their episodes start scary and end not scary, and this one had a real good story arc all throughout.
Okay, I'll put it under the Omega Man.
Like, it ends with Homer trying to kill Bart in his bedroom with the door like boarded up and no one can get in. Like, that's pretty intense.
Okay, so I gave you your leeway on that one. So for this next one, which is one of my favorite ones,
I put this one as S tier.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Terror of the Tiny Toon. This is where Bart and Lisa enter into the world of Itchy and Scratchy,
which is the iconically ridiculously violent like cartoon show.
They know that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I think it's a great segment. Very violent, very funny, supernatural elements. Great. I think it's great. I would honestly put it like right behind Time and Punishment.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's so good. I think it's so good. Okay. The last one of the 9th, kind of ending on a weak note, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Starship Poopers. Marge gets knocked up by, was it Kang or Kodos?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
one of the aliens.
Gets knocked up by an alien, honestly.
And then Maggie ends up being half alien, half human.
Yeah.
And we find out about her affair because Maggie starts growing tentacles in a giant fang.
Yeah, I didn't really like this episode.
It was all right.
I would honestly say no fun, no scares.
I put more funny than scary. There's a lot of good jokes. Him like taking her like which mating spot would you like? Right. And it was behind the alley,
the back of a
car or like it's just very funny. Okay. So I'm like, I thought they were pretty funny. I'd put it at the
bottom of more funny than scary. Then
yeah, sure, that's
fine. So bringing us to around 10. The 10th anniversary, which was the award show, basically the Kang and Kodos introduced the Simpsons award show. Yeah. It wasn't very good.
I put this as no fun. They're past this house even, actually.
Past this house, honestly?
I did not care for this intro. I'm like, poor Kang and Kodos. They're getting our lowest scores.
Yeah, that sucks.
But for me, like, there's only so much the classic characters can like.
Okay, to be fair, I mean, we have Hungry Are the Damned. Oh, a solid B tier. Oh, sorry, King and Kodos. Maybe you just need to be utilized a little better.
Yeah, I'm like, make them actually scary. They're just comedic relief, and I feel like I want more scary in my Halloween.
They should be more scary because those aliens could be really creepy.
I know, they could be.
They're honestly in the worst. They're in one of the worst segments.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that segment.
Okay.
Okay, so I know what you diddly did.
Diddly-id.
Or you diddly did?
No, it's just diddly-id.
No, it's diddly did.
Is it?
Yeah, it's right here. I can see it.
I guess I didn't type it right.
Sorry. Diddly did. This is obviously I know what you did last summer parody. I think it's really good. I like this one a lot. I put this as an A tier. A tier?
Terrifyingly terrific. Honestly, it was a great one.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
I'd put it above Hell to Pay and Omega Man, honestly. Yeah. It's got such a good ending.
And then them just sitting in their house waiting for a phone call. And it's just like spooky and weird.
Are you alone? No. Oh, hey Homer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, okay. The next one, kind of a mid. But it's a mid sequence.
Yeah.
Desperately Zeking Xena.
Mm-hmm.
This is just kind of. It starts off Halloween, but then it's just a superhero.
It's a little
thing.
Superhero parody, which is like, Homer, Bart and Lisa,
Stretch boy and Clobber girl. Yep.
Yeah, Bart and Lisa get superpowers, and you're like, okay, and they're mediocre superpowers. And then,
I mean, you see Mr. Plastic,
okay,
or Plastic Man,
whatever. Either
Mr.
way.
Fantastic, Mr. Plastic Man.
But they don't like blow anyone up, so it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and it's a pretty. I'd say it's a pretty mid. Honestly, I'd put it even in like no fun, no scares.
I think that's where I put it.
Like it's honestly kind of down here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite. But the only thing that redeems that episode for me is the very, very last joke.
Which was what?
It was, I thought you were, or what did they say? Like, how can you fly?
Oh yeah,
or Xena can't fly. I'm not Xena. I'm Lucy Lawless.
I'm Lucy
like that's
Lawless.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, but for most people,
that
joke doesn't really. That joke isn't funny to me.
Really?
Yeah,
I love it because somehow it's like, oh, Xena can't fly, but like the girl who plays her suddenly can.
Right.
That's just funny to me. And then Lisa's like, oh.
But I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
for me, it's I like that.
All right,
joke.
we're there.
Either way.
Life's a glitch, then you die.
Mm-hmm.
This was a feeding into the Y2K bug at the time.
Yes.
Honestly, it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny episode.
It's a pretty funny episode.
I'd say it's more funny than scary.
Yeah, more funny than scary. It's a good episode just for the jokes but like since we're so much past Y2K, it's a thing that I don't think lands with a lot of people nowadays.
Dang, so I'd put it like right here, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. The 11th one, the intro was the Munsters parody.
I also put that as S tier.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like that one.
All the townspeople kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like the end of it is like all of the monsters are dead.
I don't think it's S tier. I think it's short, sweet, and Halloween, just like all of these. All right,
we'll put it at A tier. I will.
I'd like the Fox censor one more though.
Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. Absolutely.
The first segment
is Ghost Dad, and I put this one as no fun, no scares.
So
come at me.
Homer dies of broccoli.
Yeah, he dies by eating broccoli and then has to go do one good deed before he can, if he wants to get in heaven.
Mm-hmm, right.
And it's just him trying to do a good deed the whole time. I was like, "What's Halloween about that?"
Oh, but I wasn't looking.
Yeah, and then he does a good deed. He saves a baby from getting hit, like going into traffic. But then St. Peter wasn't looking. He gets sent to hell.
Apparently, St. Peter's a dick. So we're gonna put this down here.
Yeah, I just didn't think it was that funny. And the whole episode is him trying to do a good deed, which I'm like, that's not a very Halloween-oriented episode.
It's got some good jokes, though.
It's got some good jokes, but not so many.
Do you have to talk like that? No, I guess not.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, the next one.
Scary tales can come true. I am a sucker for a fairy tale anything. I'm all about fantasy, but fantasy anything. I am, and so anything grim fairy tale especially is just like. But I did try to look at it from a somewhat objective lens as well, because I do love grim fairy tale things, but I put it as B tier because it wasn't necessarily super spooky. There were a lot more jokes than scares.
Honestly,
but
I
agree. I wouldn't put it in more funny than scary.
The violent death of the witch.
Yeah, the violent death of the witch.
It's pretty funny.
And just the fact that he literally throws his kids out of the house because he can't feed them.
Oh, he's like... The joke was hilarious.
Yeah, it was very, very funny.
Okay.
So I love that one. But
the last one, this one's a good one in my opinion. Night of the Dolphin.
Yes, the somewhat Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, the birds.
The birds, but also...
Jaws.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things going on in this episode. Dolphins take over the world. Again,
they made dolphins intimidating though.
They did.
When they killed Lenny.
Yeah.
That was actually like, okay.
I do also love when they find his body and they're like
So A tier?
Yeah, I'll put it at A tier. It's a good one.
Under Hell to Pay, above Hell to Pay? Omega Man?
Below it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right here. Bottom of A tier.
Yeah, they've also got like a Free Willy parody reference in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot in that episode.
That one's an episode that starts off jokey and gets scarier as it goes on.
It's true.
And then ends with Krusty like face down in the water.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Yeah. Ominous.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving on to the 12th one. The intro was Mr. Burns decorating his house.
Oh, yeah. Putting up one tiny little bat.
Yeah, but then
ends up
killing Mr. Smithers, bringing all of his
corpses from his mausoleum out, and and then he's like, "Oh, good job, Batsy!" Like terrifying everyone.
Solid A tier.
Absolutely, solid A tier on that one.
Okay,
I agree.
This next segment is Hex and the City.
Yes.
So this is where Homer, messes up a gypsy's beads and
he also unshrinks her heads.
He sets out the sprinkler. And so she curses him. Everybody around him starts to get cursed. So Bart honestly has kind of a sad death in this one, low key. Especially with the leprechaun dancing on his head.
Yeah, it's a little depressing.
Yeah, seriously. And then it's like saying I'm sorry wouldn't bring him back. The gypsy said it would.
Yeah. I did put this one as B tier though.
Spooky good time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. I wouldn't put it as terrifyingly terrific, but it is really good, and there's some really oh wow, that was a little dark.
Hey, Kirsty, how's that curse I put on you?
You probably don't remember me. Next sentence.
Okay, that's a great joke.
Yeah, it is a great joke.
Oh man, I love that joke. All right. The second one, House of Wax. Marge gets a smart home. It's Pierce Brosnan.
Oh man, I love this episode.
It's pretty violent.
Homer
in the table, dying in the table is pretty violent. And well, I am missing the back of my head.
Yeah, I think I put this one as A tier just because the creepy, and maybe you don't feel it as much.
It is very creepy.
It's creepy because the house is like predatory against Marge.
Yeah, so I feel like as a woman, you definitely feel that.
It's weird, okay, but it's fun to watch, and so. But yeah, the whole thing, I love it.
Okay.
So I put that one as an A tier for me. I will never get tired of watching the episode either.
All right. Well, I'll put it. Well, where do you think? Night of Dolphins, Hell to Pay.
I put it above both of those. I like
Omega
watching
Man?
that one. Yeah.
All right. So it's at the bottom of A tier.
And then
here.
Shout out to Matthew Perry, who also guest starred in that one.
Aw.
Yeah.
So sad.
I know.
I hate that. All right. The last one is Whiz Kids. Harry Potter parody. Mm-hmm. I don't really care for it.
I don't care for it. I'd
say it's no fun.
There were a couple of real good jokes-ish.
I'd even put it in no fun, no scares. Because
that's what I did.
It's almost passable, but some of the jokes in there.
The jokes keep it from being passable. But other than that, it's this is literally just a Harry Potter parody,
and it's only not
one
even
a good Harry Potter parody.
Yeah, it's only one or two really funny jokes.
Yeah,
and then the other ones all are kind of flat.
It's just meh.
Yeah, I'd put it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the very first Treehouse of Horror, 13. Oh man, out of 33.
I know.
Yeah. So okay, the Mod Summoning is the intro for that one. It's the seance.
I think we talked about this one earlier as well, and you kind of didn't have the same opinion as me. I put this one as an S tier opening.
I'd put it as it is the first Treehouse of Horror, but
it is, but also the seance where Maud comes back to life and she's actually terrifying. I thought that was great. Because Bart pretends to be her, and they're all no, she's actually behind you, and she stays terrifying, and then I don't know, I think it's a good.
I'll put it at
opener.
The bottom of S tier. I'm with that.
I think that's a real good opener.
Okay, why not? I'll put it at the bottom of S tier, right under the original Treehouse of Horror. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, all right. The first segment on the 13th is
Send in the Clones. This one for me was no fun, no scares. I know.
Really?
Yeah. For me, like,
it's pretty funny.
It's okay.
Like, but it's not very Halloween.
It wasn't so funny to me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Halloween. It was just Homer kept cloning himself, and then the Homers took over by eating everyone's food, and then they sent them all over a gorge. And then it ends up that Marge ends up with one of the clones because real Homer was first over cliff.
That one's
so
funny.
That's funny, but other than that, I'm like, it's just a bunch of clones. The clones do end up like killing Flanders. Also, Flanders gets decapitated in a lot of episodes.
I mean, hey, you got to do it. Is that good for you? That position?
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
All right, cool. The second one
is the fright to creep and scare harms. I put this one as a more funny than scary, but I could also see it being spooky good time.
Really?
Why? Where'd you put it?
I think this is such a meh one. It's got like a couple of good jokes. It's not really that scary.
No, but I do like that the zombies its ending come is back so up dumb. Yeah. More funny. It's like one of the worst endings. I do like a lot of the jokes, though. I think there's a lot of really good jokes. I would put it in more funny.
Okay, I'll put it at the bottom of here. Or, well, not the bottom. I'll put it like above life's a glitch, then you die.
Okay.
All right. The last one in the 13th.
The Island of Dr. Hibbert. This is another one that I really like. I put this one as A tier. This is the Simpson family goes to an island owned by Dr. Hibbert. And people are weird, or they find out that people have been making everyone has been turned into like a part animal, part human. This has got to be like a movie parody, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never seen or like actually watched that, but I'm like, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was real spooky. It had great theming, and I just thought it was a fun.
Look at that island. It's shaped like a smiley face.
Very paranormal, very supernatural kind of vibes. And so I thought it was an A tier for me. Like, I enjoy watching it. And then they all turn into animal hybrids at the end. So
I'd put it in great. Spooky good time.
Really?
I don't think it's nearly as good as the Monkey's Paw, Devil, and Homer Simpson. Even Scary Tales Can Come True. I'd put it
I'd put it above Scary Tales Can Come True. He's doing experimentation on people and making them half human, half animals. Yeah. It's kind of cool. I don't know. But that's just
jungle,
me. It's fine. Well, I'm good with that.
Homer rides a freak. Yep. So the intro for the Treehouse of Horror 14 is one of my favorites, honestly. I called it Killing for Candy.
Oh, yeah.
Because, Bart and Lisa are comparing their candy hauls from that year.
Bart gets absolute...
they literally just start fighting, brutally.
Do you curse on this?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So it was like his haul is absolute crap.
Yeah, no. So, then they start fighting. And brutally start fighting. Oh, yeah. And then Homer comes in, wraps him in a rug. And starts beating them.
The rug.
Beat the lumps. Beat the lumps.
Yeah.
Beat the lumps. And then Marge comes in and just shoots Homer with a shotgun multiple times.
It's crazy.
Grandpa gets lit on fire. Mm-hmm. I'm still cold. Yeah, honestly, S tier. I think it's great. Well. This one is great.
It's a great violent little segment.
Yeah, it is honestly pretty great. All right, I think it's at the it's really. That's fine. Oh wait, did I put it on S tier? No, I didn't. I think it's up here, right there. Yeah. So far, I think that's the best intro.
Yeah.
All right. Reaper Madness is the first one on this one.
Homer becomes the Grim Reaper by killing the Grim Reaper. I'm blanking on why he killed the Grim Reaper.
Because he was coming to get Bart's soul, and then he killed him with a bowling ball.
They killed him with a bowling ball, and then Homer picks up the rope because he thinks it looks comfy, and he becomes the new Grim Reaper.
This one's more funny than scary.
I definitely put this one in more funny than scary.
I think it's once really he becomes
the Grim Reaper, it's just funny.
But it's really funny.
It is. It's very funny.
Did somebody say something about a hot meal?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that dark humor. It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. This is where they bring back Professor Frank's dad, who got bitten by a shark. Mm-hmm. He starts lusting for other human organs and
building the most
perfect body
with all the best organs and body parts,
which he looked ridiculous.
He did. It was insane.
It was hilarious.
I put this one also as more funny than scary, though.
But he goes ape on those people at the end.
He does go ape at the very end, but I feel like
I'd say spooky good time. The entire time he's literally harvesting organs.
All right, I'll we'll put it there.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm actually gonna organize these so they're like segments and intros separately. I think that'll be a little bit better to kind of organize it like that. Let me move this right here. Perfect. Okay. The next one and the last one for the 14th, honestly, ending on a bad note. I always hate it when they do that.
Yeah.
Stop the world. I want to goof off. They get a time, or they get a stopwatch that can stop time. It's not even more funny than scary. It's just kind of no fun, no scares to me.
Yeah, like it's, I enjoy watching it.
It's almost past this house worthy.
No, I would say that it's one that I like to watch. It's not one that I skip. Like, it's not so boring. Like, it's not worth, because it's like, it's fun when they stop time and whatnot, and some of the jokes, but it's not anything better than that, I would say.
Right. It's around Whiz Kids.
It's not one that I like absolutely. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna skip this.
It's like, around Whiz Kids level, right?
This is like not worth it.
Okay. The 15th one. I actually really liked this intro, the Keeping Up Kodos.
I put this one as like,
and like the cheesy 80s song in the beginning. I thought it was so funny.
I put it a spooky good time just because I'm like, it's not like the best
they
ever.
Actually eat the Simpsons.
I know. Technically Homer eats himself.
That's even funnier.
I know, but I'm like, for me, that's not like terrifyingly terrific. They just have a bunch of them in the oven and different like little.
All right. I'd say spooky good time.
But the fact that they made it like a sitcom took away from the spookiness of it for me, and so I'm like, all right, it's funny, but it's not.
Yeah, I'd put it at spooky good time. Right. I agree with that.
Okay.
All right. So the first one.
The Ned Zone. This is where he starts being able to tell how people are going to die.
I like this one.
Yeah, he gets a head injury, and now he can see how people die. And
Homer's trying to get his frisbee off the roof, and then realizes
so many times Homer and his frisbee.
Hey, can you help me get my frisbee off the ledge? Okay, but this is the last time.
And then, and then it turns out Ned sees himself killing Homer.
Oh.
He tries to stop himself from doing that, but then realizes that Homer was going to nuke the entire town, so now he needs to kill Homer.
You stupid son of a...
Yeah, and then Homer ends up nuking the town anyway. It's pretty good.
I'd say it's under terrifyingly terrific, honestly.
Sure, yeah. The very bottom, though.
Yeah.
It's not like the best of them.
No, but I think it's honestly, I love watching it every time.
Yeah, it's a funny one.
Yeah. It's got really good jokes, really violent deaths, and just like everybody dies in the end. Everybody dies. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. And then next segment is 4 beheadings and a funeral. This one was an old... I can't. They're also
Victorian era.
Yeah, Victorian era. I know it's a parody.
Jack the Ripper.
It's a Jack the Ripper type of
Ripper.
story.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's an actual movie that this is based off as well that I've just never seen.
So it's called 4 Weddings and a Funeral. That's not even like.
No. The title is based off, but like the actual episode, the segment is based off of an actual movie. When I was looking up on Wikipedia, it said it. I just have never seen it. But I love this just because it was that Victorian era. It's a murder mystery. It's very Jack the Ripper, so I put it as, spooky good time.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you too much on that one.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a good one. It's a little murder mystery
towards the bottom.
It's got the vibes.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
All right. And then the last one.
In the Belly of the Boss.
This one's more funny than scary.
This ultimately. One, I almost put down no fun, no scares, but I don't really find this one that funny. There's a couple of. It
kind of drags on a little bit.
It drags on a little,
especially at the end with Homer and Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
even though it's kind of funny.
Like, it's one of those ones that like I've watched it once or twice and I'm like, now I can skip it. And so I'm like, I just, it's not one that I
I'll put it right here.
High.
I'll put it right there.
Yeah.
All right, so 16, the intro was the baseball speed up, and then they end up just sucking in the whole universe. The first appearance of God's face on The Simpsons.
Really? That was the first time they did that?
Yep. That's the first time they showed his face.
It's always just him walking, huh?
It's always from like the waist down. Yeah. Basically they made that joke because baseball would be playing at the time that they wanted to air their Treehouse of Horror. That's why they always had to do it in November, which they did this year as well. But yeah, to be
totally honest,
it's okay.
I would, I'm like, this one for me is either No Fun, No Scares or Pass This House.
Right.
Like, it's literally, you're watching a baseball game being sped up through like almost a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it drug on, and I honestly rewind through the episode itself, even though it's being rewound in the episode.
I wouldn't say Pass This House just because the whole sucking up the universe part at the end is kind of fun.
The very, very last 10 seconds of it, but the first 2 minutes of the segment.
All right, fair enough. We can pass this.
Oh my goodness.
We can pass this,
It's just a baseball game in The Simpsons.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. The first segment here is Bartificial Intelligence, a parody of Artificial Intelligence. It's pretty funny. I mean,
it's more funny than scary at all.
Yeah, but it's not even that funny.
I also put that one as actually like No Fun, No Scares.
All right, I'm glad we're in agreement there then.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. It was like, all right, sure, he got replaced by a robot. And then at the very, very end, he finds a bunch of old forgotten robots and then steals all their parts to go Terminator.
Yeah, and then he just chops Homer in half.
Yeah, he chops Homer in half. And so it's like, okay, the last, once again, 2 minutes, 2 minutes were fine, but the rest of the segment was very forgettable.
I didn't really care. Yeah, I didn't really care for this one.
Yeah.
The next one is Survival of the Fattest. This is a parody on The Most Dangerous Game.
Okay.
Mr. Burns is basically hunting down all of these people, Simpsons regular characters, for sport, and Homer's the last one alive, and then ends up having sex with Marge.
Yeah. And they're like, will we really, show all of this violence, but then cut to commercial as soon as the wonderful act of lovemaking, and they're like, oh no, they're actually showing it.
He's like, woo. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
I like this one as
it's violent
just because it's violent and it is them being hunted for sport. It's a spooky good time.
Right. I'd say, yeah. I'd put it like under here.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's really good. I've grown a costume on your face. Obviously, it's very Halloween centric.
Oh yeah, very Halloween centric.
This literally is like the plot of one of my favorite Halloween DComs. So
yeah.
So I just love this concept.
It's like Calabar's Revenge, right?
Yeah.
Halloween Town.
Yeah, I just love this concept. So I want to put it on at least Terrifyingly Terrific if you don't want to commit to.
We'll put it on bottom of A tier.
All right, I would say it's like right there.
The top of A tier?
Yeah.
All right.
It's better than Easy Bake Coven, I think.
Okay. All right.
Actually, no, I disagree. Right. Actually, I'm sorry. I rethought that. I'm putting it under here because of the ending.
Yeah.
When they all get turned into Binkies.
Yes.
And then like the basketball
Dennis
player.
Rodman or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And they start talking about adult literacy.
Oh, that one. Okay, that's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
All right. This is another, I feel like, just S tier intro. I also
put this one as an S tier intro.
It's a Creepshow parody, but even if you don't know about Creepshow, I think it's good either way.
Which I don't necessarily know about Creepshow, but I loved this intro. So
yeah, and then Mo ends up getting speared at the end by a Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
and he says, "Oh look, my blood's making fancy Roman numerals." I love that
Smart
one.
blood.
Yeah, I'd put it like
at the bottom of S tier, or somewhere near the bottom.
I'd put it above this at least.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
All right. The next, so the first segment of the 17th
Treehouse of Horror.
Yep.
does that mean? Married to the Blob. This is an obvious parody of The Thing.
No, it's the Blob.
The Blob, sorry. I get those mixed up. I didn't watch the old movies, to be fair, so I get the names mixed up. It's like The Thing and the It and the Blob and I don't know, they're all just
Yeah, but
whatever.
This is Married to the Blob.
Well, sometimes
it's not Married to the Thing.
To be fair, sometimes their names of the segments is not related to the actual story they're parodying.
All right.
Anyway, I personally put this one as No Fun, No Scares.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think we can just put it there and move on.
Just the fact that he literally got turned into the Blob because he really wanted to eat this disgusting space marshmallow.
I'm literally putting it at the bottom because every time that he does the slurping with the nose, I literally almost gag.
I know, I almost gagged too.
It's so gross. It goes on for so long.
I know.
Oh, it's so gross.
And it's like he gets turned into a Blob because he can't not eat this space marshmallow that's trying to run away from him.
If I can put down Arby's, I can put down you.
No, then the rest of the episode is just him just eating people.
And then honestly, another No Fun, No Scares, or even Past This House, you got to know when to call them.
I know. I do love Fran Drescher, but I'm sorry, I have to put that one.
Right, I love Fran Drescher. That's why I know I can even put it in Past This House. I can.
What?
I mean, it's I don't even think it's that good though. It's literally just got Skinner getting like cut in half.
Yeah.
And it's kick Homer's. Oh, I didn't say kick Homer's walls. That's the only thing.
It's an okay episode. It's
all right,
not
I'll
one
put
that
it at the bottom.
Skip.
I'll put it at the bottom of that. I'll put it above Married to the Blob. Okay, the last one of the 17th.
The Day the Earth Looks Stupid. Very much a parody of War of the Worlds.
Yep.
And I almost forgot the name of that for a second. I was like, wait.
Yep. By Orson Welles.
Absolutely, just a parody of War of the Worlds.
The broadcast.
I do
Not
like
the Tom Cruise movie.
like the ambiance of it, how they make it all. I love how we're in sepia tone. It makes it seem. But that was like one of the jokes in it. The whole segment is sepia tone. I didn't rate it super high.
It's not really that good.
It's not my favorite one to watch. I would put like No Fun, No Scares.
Really?
Rather than Past This House. Just because they do have the good ambiance.
I honestly thought you were going to put it in More Funny Than Scary, so.
No, it wasn't super, super funny to me either. Because it was almost like a direct parody. They didn't like stray a lot from it.
I'd put it above like Artificial Intelligence and all of these, though.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
All right. So the intro to the 18th Treehouse of Horror is Marge gets interrupted by the Fox ads and then kills them all and bakes them into her, it looks like just banana bread or something like that.
Yeah, I put this, I think it was meatloaf actually.
Oh, right.
That would make more sense than humans meat.
Yeah, okay.
I just had meatloaf for dinner. Anyway, so I put this one as A tier just because she the house in the microwave is great.
Yeah, no, him blowing up
blowing up in the microwave is great.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, okay. I'll put it like right here.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first segment from 18 was E.T. Go Home.
Mm-hmm.
Parody, obviously, of Alien. I'm just kidding. It's
okay.
E.T.
Like, what?
Jeez, I'm messing with you. I'm mocking you.
Okay.
So anyways, it's okay, honestly. In the end, it's not really that funny. It's not really that scary.
Yeah.
It's got like maybe one or two good jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Homer bored. But then like he shoots him, but then he's like totally fine the next scene. I always hate that continuity error.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd put it in No Fun, No Scares.
Yeah, agreed.
Kind of down here. Yeah, a lot of their parodies in the later seasons get kind of lazy.
Yeah, it's really sad how, like, honestly, the way that Blake watched them going from the newest to the newest to the oldest episodes is probably a better watching experience because they get
highly recommend. Highly recommend.
I unfortunately was getting very disappointed and burnt out watching these all because the middle, like all of these middle ones are just very like, ugh. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so the middle segment of that one is Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, which is Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep.
It's got some good jokes, but it's not scary at all. It's not Halloween at all.
Yeah, and they obviously are shooting each other and blowing things up, but nobody gets injured, nobody dies.
Yeah.
Except for the police chief. And then they have sex on his body.
Yeah, I think that's so weird every time it happens.
Yeah, it must be in the movie. I never actually watched Mr.
No, it's not in the movie.
It's not?
No.
Oh, I assumed that that was because it was in the movie and that's why they did it.
No, the whole shootout scene is, but...
Yeah.
And also, I love that scene where Homer's kicking the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you kicking that? That's my favorite couch. Why do you think I'm kicking it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Because that almost made it into more of a Halloween episode when you think he's kicking Marge like that.
Yeah.
And then you find out he's kicking the couch, and it's funny.
That happens in the movie.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
Rough.
I mean, she's fine. She's an assassin. She takes it.
She
takes it and dishes it back.
All right.
It's good. And then they end up having sex. It's all weird.
It's all fine.
Yeah, they got a specific kink. No shame, no shame. All right. Heck House. I really like this one.
This is a terrifyingly terrific one for
me. All
me.
right, good. I'm glad we're in agreement.
Heck House is great.
We'll just throw it up there.
Yeah, I love Heck House.
Yeah, it's good every time. It's Halloween centric.
Mm-hmm.
Ned Flanders gets a chance to be the devil again.
The devil again.
All of the he died like he lived.
How many times is he the devil?
Like a loser. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
He's like, at least, I mean, there was Devil
at least
and Homer
twice.
Simpson, Devil and Homer Simpson, Heck House, and wasn't there another one?
No, I don't know. It's whatever. Anyways, yeah. So on to the 19th one. We're getting up here. So as a fun fact, I want to share this. Okay. So when I was young,
I was like, "You're gonna try to convince me of something?" Because
no,
this opener as a
So
Pass This House.
So yeah, we're gonna just agree right now. This intro is a Pass This House. Obviously, politics. It's gonna go down here. But anyways, the funny thing about this whole episode is that we watched this as a family, and I was really young. And this episode really is not that bad, except for the middle segment, which is it's almost like I want to say the most violent segment.
If we're talking like just objective violence, I think it has the most objective violence.
It was so brutal watching Krusty go through that wood chipper. Yeah, I was like, what? Intense. Yeah, no, and it was kind of hilarious to me as a kid that my family was like, yeah, let's sit down and watch this as a family. And then it was this. I thought that was hilarious. Keep in mind, I had watched The Simpsons for years before this.
Yeah, it's like season 20. Right now we're on 34. So yeah,
I've grown up watching The Simpsons.
Well, you say you were a kid and that was like 14 years ago, so you were like 14.
Yeah, I mean I wasn't that young. Yeah. I wasn't that young. I wasn't that young. I was
you weren't super young.
I call that a kid still.
I started watching these episodes when we were at least like 8.
Yeah.
I've been watching this
I've been watching the old ones even before that. I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I just thought that was a funny sit down as a family, watch this.
Well, it's our family.
So anyways, the first segment is...
Oh, sorry. Untitled robot parody.
I'd say Pass This House.
Yeah, this one was a Transformers, which
it's a Transformers parody.
But okay, the only reason I'd put this higher is because the jokes are really good. The three-way robot.
That's the only good joke.
No,
I honestly don't. I have a dislike for this episode because I like Transformers so much. I think this episode's dumb.
Fine, that's true.
It has such a dumb ending.
It does.
And it's like Christmas time.
They all just play foosball with them.
The fact that it's Christmas time it's makes me mad about this episode.
They get gets her.
It's about Bart getting a Christmas
gift. The Transformer for Lisa for Christmas.
But
they had to put it in Halloween because the Transformers come alive and want to fight there. So
yeah, but they don't even kill any of the humans. They use them for foosball.
They use them for foosball.
If they would have killed all the humans, that would have been way better.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
So the middle segment that we were talking about.
Yeah. How to get ahead in Deadvertising, and this is a Mad Men type-ish parody.
Only the intro.
Yeah, only the intro is Mad Men, but the rest of it,
I mean,
I don't
they
know.
have ad men. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah, and so it's like it's a loose parody.
Yeah.
But he basically kills celebrities so that they can use their likeness after they're dead because they can't tell them no.
That's what the recent strikes were about.
Yeah, I was like.
Interestingly enough,
do we not have any protections about that at all?
No, we do
which is
now.
Really sad.
Well, that's what the recent, now we do. Hopefully.
So Yeah, so I put this one as A tier, but I feel like you might be S tier.
No,
Okay.
not S tier. I don't think it's good enough. It's got some great kills, but other than that, the story's not that good. The jokes aren't that good.
The story's not that great, but it does got a lot of violence and good kills in it.
It's got some brutal kills, like I mentioned. Krusty through the wood chipper literally goes on for like maybe 5 to 8 to 10 seconds. I can't remember how long. But it's long.
Yeah, it's long like, for that.
Whoa, dude. Yeah. I'll put it like under the Night of the Dolphin. I don't know. I put it at the bottom. It's not the most enjoyable one to watch, but I mean, it's kind of fun watching Homer kill all the celebrities.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
And then there's just something a little bit like eerie about all of those advertisements at the end. Just from all the dead celebrities, you're just like, wow, okay, this could be us. Like, there's something a little bit like eerie about that. But
yeah, definitely dystopian type. But
yeah, very dystopian.
So this next segment, Kylie's gonna have a bit of a hot take.
I know, I have a real hot take on it.
It's the Grand Pumpkin Millhouse. I like this segment, but I'm a sucker for the classics.
And I think
just say it. Kylie doesn't like peanuts.
I don't like the peanuts.
She just doesn't like it. It's fine. I mean, it's very old school.
And like Dad made us watch it every year, and it just.
But I enjoyed that,
and you did, and I feel like I was so tired of it, and so like.
I can't listen to your bad opinion. It's a spooky good time.
It is a spooky good time. I love Homer as Snoopy. That's the best.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. That whole part. But even the Grand Pumpkin at the end coming alive and killing everybody is great. Or eating 3 people.
That is true.
Not killing everybody, eating 3 people.
And then the pumpkin not being able to be racist or something.
No, the pumpkin. All pumpkins are racist.
All pumpkins are racist. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's also the ending's pretty good, but the middle segment of it with Millhouse just being the whiny blanket kid is like ugh, for me.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I it's a solid Peanuts parody. Yeah. I think it's great. You know, Marge doing the
yes, that's really
on the
funny.
trombone is hilarious.
That is very funny to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just practicing my trombone. Okay. Anyways, moving on to 20. So we got 13 more to go. We got this, guys. we're almost through here.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a pretty solid list going on though.
We do.
So up in S tier, you know, got all that. I think it's good. A tier. We've been looking at this the whole time because it's mostly down here, but I think the S tiers, I think we're good. I think we got a pretty solid list.
Yeah.
So this intro was a much better one. This is where the classic monsters wanted to go out and scare people. They didn't get scared, so they dressed up as modern day things. And I thought that's so funny. Iron Man, SpongeBob, Harry Potter, and what was the other one? Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, and then they go to Homer's Halloween party. The wives show up and end up killing Homer. Yeah. I think it's great. I'd put it at A tier.
I put it a spooky good time.
Really?
Because it was more and not to put it in more funny than scary, but I thought it was more funny than scary. Like it's them coming out and the bullies are like, "That's not scary." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then their wives just come and get mad at them for not telling them they left or something. Right. And so I'm like, it's not scary.
I'll put it down there. That's fine with me. All right. So the first segment in this one.
Dial M for murder. Press pound. Not hashtag. Press pound to return to main menu. Now that I'm reading that title, I can't remember what that's actually about, but I put it as S tier.
So it's a it's a Hitchcock parody.
Yeah. Dial M for murder. Oh, the crisscross one.
Crisscross.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. No, I loved it because it was all in black and white. It was creepy. It was spooky, and like he killed Mrs. Hoover, and he was after her, and then S tier for me.
And then
I thought it was so creepy and good.
Yeah, and then Lisa ends up killing Bart, and then after smiling about it, it's very ominous.
It's very ominous. Very creepy. Ominous. The whole thing stays creepy.
I'd say it's
I put that one as a good S tier.
S tier.
It's a full creepy the whole time. It's spooky the whole time. People get killed. Like, what can you tell me that's not S tier about that? And literally the whole thing being black and white.
I mean, if you get to bite off of Alfred Hitchcock, I guess you're gonna have pretty good substance there.
Sure, but even Night of the Dolphin wasn't as good as that one.
But it's here. It's right here.
One. Yeah, it's close.
It's right up there in A tier. Okay. This next one I have such a personal liking for, but that's just because I love zombie stuff. I said,
don't have a cow, Mankind. I put that one as A tier.
Okay.
So I didn't, like, I don't think it was not.
I don't think it's S tier.
It's not S tier, but it's good.
The ending is a little like eh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's like solid A tier. I'd put it definitely above.
It was decent.
I'd put it like right here, to be honest. I like watching it every time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll put it right there. All right.
There's No Business Like Mo Business. This was a Sweeney Todd parody.
I hated
in a way, because it was in Moe's Tavern. And this one was Homer actually gets impaled on some old pipes in the basement. And Moe ends up making a drink out of these, like, whatever comes out of the
beer
pipes.
It's
beer and Homer's blood.
Yeah.
And then he ends up using that drink to somehow
seduce Marge
because when she drank it there, she was reminded. It was a very like. So it wasn't like a direct ripoff of Sweetie Todd, but like a similar vibe. I did put this one as A tier though, because it's good and it's creepy, and they're literally
it's not creepy.
Okay, but they're literally drinking a blood drink while he's like dying in the basement the whole time. Yeah, like if you think about it, it's creepy.
Yeah, but
he's using it to like fall in love with her.
Yeah, but it's. I feel like the whole play atmosphere takes away from the spooky vibe.
But then you would have to say that Sweeney Todd isn't spooky because of the same reason. They also sing. It's also a play atmosphere. I mean, they do make it seem like a literal stage play in that segment.
Yeah,
like where you're seeing like props and like.
I'd put it in Spooky Good Time.
Fine, but it has to be fairly at the top.
I'll put it behind Scary Tales Can Come True.
Okay, fine.
There you go.
Fine.
Wow, I honestly did not like that segment. I was not expecting it. I was going to put it under No Fun, No Scares. I'm not even going to lie. Yep.
I'm like, I like the fact that she's literally drinking his blood the whole time. It's very like...
It doesn't like do anything for me. I just... I'm also not a big fan of musicals. I mean, even though my favorite movie is a musical, it's just
me neither, but also, yeah.
All right. Anyways.
Anyway.
The intro for the 21st one is the Fast Forward / the Monster Office parody.
Oh, yeah.
Frank fast forwarding himself. And honestly, the sucky thing, though, is that if he didn't fast forward it, I think it would have been one of the best ones.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I like that they fast forward it because you just see all of this crazy nonsense violence being played
Interesting point.
And so it's like you're like, oh my gosh, like it like makes it so fast that you're like, what's happening? Because they're like just killing each other.
And then he kills himself because
he kills himself because he thinks he ruined the episode. Right. Like and then it has a nice little cute. I put it like Spooky Good Time. Terrific. I put Spooky Good Time because then it ends with the Office parody, which is like not scary, but it's like a fun little parody. I guess it's funny. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, comment if you fell on asleep to that song all the time. Seriously, playing it on Netflix and just having it go. That's how you fall asleep. Well, it's how you used to when it was on Netflix, at least. War and Pieces. So my gripe with this one is that it's such a good concept, but every time I watch it, I feel like it goes by so fast. I feel like everything is just joke after joke after joke.
Remind me what this one is again.
Oh, this is the one where
I can never remember based on just the titles.
Bart and Milhouse get sucked into like the board game world because Marge thinks video games are too violent. Yeah. And so they play a board game.
It does feel really short. Yeah, it does feel really short for some reason.
I don't know why.
I wonder if it is actually shorter.
I don't know why.
But yeah, they get sucked. Yeah, they get sucked into the board games. But I do love how Rod and Todd literally get crushed in the little.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
All right. I'll put it at the bottom of Spooky Good Time.
Yeah, and then I do love the mousetrap joke.
Yeah, that is funny.
Nobody ever finishes this, and they have to like kick it to make the thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever played Mousetrap, but like it's very good.
You know, Reverend Lovejoy being in the super violent game was also pretty funny.
Oh, that was also funny.
Slay the wounded.
Yeah. Reverend Lovejoy said I shouldn't let you play games like this. Yep. He's in this game.
Yep. Slay the wounded.
Yeah, slay the wounded.
So funny. Okay. Master and Cadaver. Another one I really don't like, to be honest. This is the one with Marge and Homer on the boat, and they find a survivor who they think is lying about killing everybody on this other boat and think that they're going to try to kill him, so they kill him, but end up not.
Yeah.
The only good thing about this episode is Homer killing everybody at the end.
Yeah, but I think even... Okay, so if we're talking about ambiance, the music and the gray skies and like you feel... I know. You're going to argue with me, though, because you argued with me about this with Fly versus Fly, too. You're like, the whole time it was a stormy night, and I'm like, I'm not afraid of flies, so that didn't really help.
Yeah, but it's, like, out in the middle of the ocean.
Yes, it feels alone. It feels very, like, secluded and very
I just never liked this segment. I don't know. Well, what did you put it as?
I put it as... I would put it as, like, B tier.
Okay. Yeah, I'd put it at the bottom of Spooky Good Time, like with War and Pieces.
Like, it's not terrifyingly terrific, but I love the ambiance, how you feel alone.
Where the heck did it go? Oh, it's right there.
And I like that they did play those characters the whole time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were Marge and Homer, but they were like these characters on this boat, and they didn't necessarily have kids. They didn't, they weren't, like, it was like a creepy, alone little segment, and then and then Marge ends up committing suicide. Homer kills everyone on the boat.
Yeah.
They find out that they killed an innocent man. Like, it's a very, like, dark, ominous segment.
And then it ends up being all in Maggie's head.
Yes. And then she's literally imagining all of that.
Yeah.
And then the whole, like, Clockwork Orange kind of vibe they give her at the end. So, I don't know.
Well,
I just thought it was
interesting argument. That's why she's here, to bring another perspective to the view. The last one is, I honestly thought this was the best one of it. Funnily enough, I think it's so funny how this Twilight parody, Tweenlight, is. I think it's so funny.
Funnily enough, the vampire voiced by Daniel Radcliffe, which I find so funny that they got the star of the Harry Potter to be the star of the Twilight parody, is very funny to me. I was like, of all the people that they get to do this voice, it's the guy who's a star of a completely different franchise.
Right.
Very funny.
I wouldn't put it any higher than Spooky Good Time, though.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like
it's not my favorite. Like, I actually put it in more funny than scary, because I don't think it's scary at all. It's very funny. Like, I don't think it's scary at all.
I'm actually good with that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a good little parody, but there's nothing scary about it.
I'm trying to fix this.
But they do a very good little Twilight.
Yeah, whatever.
They do a very good little Twilight parody.
Okay. The next one, the intro to this was the 127 Hours parody, where Homer gets trapped trying to take candy and eat it by himself. Chews his arm off. Eventually.
Choose the wrong arm off.
And then his leg.
And then his leg. And then the correct arm.
No.
And then finds out that the bag of candy had been swapped out by the kids for a bag of vegetables. So he ate all of his limbs to find out that they were just vegetables.
Honestly, I think this intro is pretty good.
I put it as an A tier. It's great.
The sad thing about it is this intro is the best part of the episode.
Yeah.
Terrifyingly terrific?
Okay. Yeah. Put it A tier. Really? You didn't like Dial D for Diddley?
No.
I love the Dexter parody. Anyway, that's the second one, so we'll get to that one.
I think we're just gonna go get right to it. We're just gonna put this one straight into Past This House. It's a farting Homer, and the entire episode, paralyzed farting Homer. Nobody cares for it. Nobody wants to talk about it.
I would not put it at Past This House, though, just because.
What?
Just because. And maybe this is just me. When he squeezes the spider at the beginning, I die every time. Squeeze. If you were a real spider, you'd hate this. Like, that's so funny.
That's the only good thing about the episode. The rest of it is so painful to watch.
Yeah,
it's painful to watch. I would skip it. All right. Dial D for Diddley. This is
I loved the Dexter parody.
Yep.
I thought Ned Flanders killing all of those people and then ends up that Homer is making him kill everybody.
I mean, it's got okay jokes.
But it's so like Ned Flanders has been murdering people, and it turns out that it was because Homer told him to, and he literally is like furious with rage, and then like, yeah, and then I think God shows up, but
yeah, God shows up, and then the devil devil's like, give me a coffee. Yep.
And Maud is his wife.
I don't know. I
like, at least a spooky good time.
All right, I'll put it at the bottom.
What? The bottom? You think it's better?
I don't think it's as good as War and Peace. I'll put it above Master and Cadaver.
Fine.
All right, let's get that there.
All right, well, let's see how we feel about the next segment.
I'm just gonna put this in Past This House.
Past This House. I hated it.
Yeah, it's also so crappy. I hate this.
So dumb.
First of all, I hate Avatar, just the movie.
Oh, I mean, I like the movie.
It's such an annoying movie. It's so dull. The only good thing about it is the visuals, and the only good thing about the visuals were in 2009. So, yeah I don't like really it. The parody of it is also not fun at all.
It was so dumb.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, the fact that they were all the like the Kang and Kodos aliens was just like so off-putting for me.
Yeah, it was weird.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like any of the jokes. I didn't like it. Wasn't scary. It ended really dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. The next one, 23, had the Mayan Doomsday intro. So this was 2012, clearly.
A-tier intro for me. The Mayan gods end up killing the entire Earth.
Yeah.
So good.
The way that they do it is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Which Baktoon is it, Marge?
I love the... and then she's like, the 13th or something.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I also love the joke where... they are wrecking national monuments, and then they pull out a magazine to see where all the national monuments are.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I think A-tier for sure on that one.
Yeah. That one goes a little hard, I gotta admit.
It does.
I don't think it's better than the Fox censor, though.
No.
All right. I put this one like up here, too. Okay. So... the first segment of the 23rd.
Curious what your thoughts on this one
are. The greatest story ever told.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just say pass it.
Okay, me too, because that's such a boring segment to me.
It literally
the only redeeming joke in that whole thing is the Zune. I quote,
and that's the last.
It's the very last 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. It's
pretty. The rest of it is boring.
Zune.
Zoom.
Yep. So I actually do think about that all the time.
I quote that all the time.
Yeah. The next one is Unnormal Activity, a spoof of the Twilight Zone.
Gosh.
Sorry. Paranormal Activity. This is one where it had such good potential, and then it just was like, let's make a bunch of jokes.
Yeah, it started spooky and then it ended jokey.
Yeah. I didn't like it that much.
I'm gonna put.
I put it as spooky good time.
Spooky good time.
It's got some okay jokes.
I do still love the ending.
It's better than War and Pieces,
and the ending is still good. Like,
yeah,
cinnamon. I can't. You can't. Yeah. No, demon.
Three-way. Yeah, demon. You.
Demon. You.
Me, you, and Marge.
I wanted to try something a little different.
Oh,
cinnamon.
Yeah, right.
The demon's tapping out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The last one, Bart and Homer's Excellent Adventure. Not only does this have absolutely nothing to do with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but I just don't. I'd also put it in pass. It's
what happened in this one.
So
this is the Back to the Future one.
Yeah, where Bart like messes up Homer going to the prom with Marge.
Yeah,
and then she ends up with Artie Ziff which just pisses me off. I hate it every time.
Mm-hmm. Because like he still treated her terribly.
Marge and Homer are a good couple.
What we've learned about Marge
rely
is
on
she
each
will
other.
Settle
every
for whatever.
Every episode that has them fighting and arguing are written by writers that don't know them.
Yeah.
I'm saying it. That's my hot take right now. They're supposed to be so supportive, and I'm so glad that the newer seasons are getting that right. Mm-hmm. I just got to say that. Like that Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah.
Were they in the snow?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah.
That was a great
one. That was great. Okay, Past This House.
Yeah, that one was. It was the only reason that they think they put it in Halloween segment was because it was time travel.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It was a parody. It was time travel, and so they're like, Halloween. And I'm like, yeah, there was nothing spooky or anything about it. So
yeah,
it's whatever.
So this next one, the intro, I'm just going to throw it an S tier for the sheer brutality that they went on their animators to do this. This is the Guillermo del Toro intro, where they just went so hard.
Sure.
They literally just made it so Halloween. Everything
was amazing.
Yeah, no, they really put some mad effort into this one, and I like it a lot.
And really it was good. So long. This was a long intro.
Good. This one is the best intro so far.
Yeah, that was a really, really good intro.
For sure. Yeah. No, shout out. I
was like, I have it as S tier, but I don't remember what it was.
They hit almost every type of horror.
They did.
Like zombies, mystical, like Cthulhu, like horror slashers, like
they had an Alfred Hitchcock.
Alien, Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, no, seriously. Everything. It was great. It was great. No, seriously, peak. Oh, the places you'll go.
This is obviously more funny than scary. Like good jokes, and the whole thing being like a Dr. Seuss is fun.
Yeah.
And it was on Halloween, so it's fun. It's Halloween fun.
Right. Right. I'd say it's a spooky good time.
I would say just more funny than scary.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he does kind of kill a lot of people.
No, he just kills like the one at the end.
And Ralph. And Mo. He pickles Mo.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I'd say it's a spooky good time, in my opinion.
But it's not spooky.
It kind of is.
It's more funny than scary.
But it's on Halloween.
But it's Halloween fun, not Halloween spooky.
Yeah.
You're telling me you watch the Dr. Seuss segment and you're like, ooh, spooky. It's not. It's funny.
I do also like the stylized, like, part of it.
Sure, but
and I don't think it's the most funny though. But I think it's more scary than funny. That's the funny thing is that like I don't think it's that funny. I think it's actually I remember this as being more like
segment again.
All right, whatever.
There's nothing spooky about it.
I'll put it right there because I honestly think Tweenlight is funnier than that one.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, Dead and Shoulders. This is where Bart gets his head chopped off by a kite. And
because he wraps a kite string around his head.
Near an airport. And
then it gets stuck onto Lisa, and then he finds out he can control Lisa's body while she's asleep. And then he tries to, like...
Kill her.
And
chop off her head, at least.
Yeah, he tries to chop her head off so he can control the body forever.
And then he gets put onto Selma's head.
Yeah.
And honestly... It has one of my favorite jokes of this episode from this to the next segment.
Oh gosh,
the callback. Yeah. The callback. That is so funny though. The fact, that's a great way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that this one is honestly like.
This is not my favorite. It's a very forgettable episode. It's a very forgettable episode.
I put it in no fun, no scares.
Yeah.
If I can move it.
Like, it's not so bad that I feel like I need to skip it, but I watch it and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of whatever.
Yeah. So the next segment is the last segment of that one. Freaks, No Geeks.
Which is, I believe, an American Horror Story.
No, so it's
not?
It's just based on the movie Freaks.
Oh. I thought that was the American Horror Story when they were at the circus or something.
Well, I mean, American Horror Story kind of did something like similar to that when they did their was it Carnival or Circus?
Carnival, yeah, it was Carnival or Circus.
I remember that was actually one of the. I think it's one of the only seasons I actually watched. But
I never watched any of them.
But yeah, no, that they did something similar to that. But yeah, no, I'd say this is I'd say it was kind of mid. Like it's got the creepy vibe and it has a really creepy ending.
Yeah.
But. Past
other than that, it was kind of.
It's not really that good.
I would put it as like spooky good time at least.
Huh?
I would put it as spooky good time. Like it's spooky and weird. Like I wouldn't not,
Thinking of where to put this one. I'd say it's about that one. Dead and Shoulders.
Oh.
It finally loaded.
Yeah.
Okay, so Freaks No Geeks, spooky good time. Yeah, I'd agree with that one.
Yeah.
I'll put it like up here. Give me a second.
I'll just move on to Treehouse Forward 25.
Mm-hmm.
The opener was look looking at your notes because I don't remember.
So 25 was the 25th anniversary show where they basically made 25, the logo 25 out of the
celebrities.
Out of the celebrities, right.
Okay, I put this one as C, more funny than scary, right? Is that more funny than scary?
No, I didn't even.
Okay, sorry. So I think it was more funny than scary because they said that like, oh, this intro has all of these celebrities. They named a ton of celebrities,
right.
And then they like pull up the curtain and it's like their bodies are just pinned onto a thing, and they like look like the number 25.
Yeah.
So it's like it's funny because you're like, really? Are all these people going to be here? Like, are we actually going to see any of those or hear any of those people? And then it's just like them drawn as Simpsons characters. You don't actually hear from any of them.
Okay, I was looking for it the whole time. I found it.
Okay.
All right, cool. So where more funny than scary? Yeah, I'll put it right
probably
there.
At the bottom. It's nothing crazy, but like it's funny.
Oh, okay, gotcha. It moved a couple of them. So the next one that where's the intros here? I know. The next one, I really like this one actually. Really this is one of my favorite of the new ones. I'd put it at
Terrifyingly Terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd put it at S tier.
It wasn't like spooky to me. It was.
It has pretty brutal. I mean, Homer getting tortured at the end.
But it still almost has that air of fun to it. Yeah. Like they keep it very light, even though what they're doing is dark. Like they don't try to make it dark.
So where would it go?
This is called School is Hell, is the segment that we're talking about.
Hell to Pay, Omega Man. Where do you think it should go?
Above those, like definitely more at the top.
Above House of Wax.
Yeah, maybe even above that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it there.
Cool.
Yeah, so School is Hell. Bart's not doing well at school. He finds some Latin transcriptions on a school desk, ends up going to school in hell, and then exceeds and excels there and is doing great because he's the expert on torture and mischief and all those things. So he just does real well
I think that's great.
In hell school. So it's very funny.
It makes sense. It's great.
It makes sense. It's great. It's fun.
Very great atmosphere in hell.
Yeah, the atmosphere is great.
And the joke where it starts snowing as soon as Lisa gets friends is really funny.
It really would be a cold day in hell when I'm popular.
Yep. Okay, so the next one is a Clockwork Yellow.
Which is very obviously a Clockwork Orange parody. Really? I put this one also as A tier. Like Terrifyingly Terrific. It's full from start to finish. They are those characters. It is that parody.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of like the jokiness to it. Mm-hmm. It was a very strong parody, but like creepy.
I would say it's only a spooky good time.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think it's better than The Devil and Homer Simpson, and that's what I'm ranking at the top of spooky good time.
All right. Fair enough.
I'd put it like right under this one.
Sure.
If I can.
Sure.
There we go. All right. So this one is like they're trying to slap you with nostalgia to like make you like this sketch.
Yeah. One that's parody. So the
but
last
it's okay.
segment is The Others, which is not a parody of The Others.
No.
It is a parody of I don't know.
Themselves.
That basically their old ghosts show up in their house. And like old Marge is trying to get with new Homer, and they're like fighting over each other. It ends up that everyone dies except for. Do they all die? And so they're all just ghosts living in the house.
Yeah. Who killed Maggie?
Yeah. Who killed Maggie? That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just a very nostalgic. Like
it's very fun. Cool seeing the old versions of The Simpsons interact with the new ones.
More funny than scary?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd put it as a spooky good time.
Okay.
Like the bottom of the spooky good time.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and fix that one. The intro for 26 was another S tier in my opinion.
I put this one as A.
Oh, Terrifyingly Terrific. It's the Ghouls and Goblins. So that's the only thing I can like really think of naming it, to be honest. It's like,
why am I still not remembering?
It's like an interesting animation of the ghoul. It's like Bart and Lisa going out into the cemetery, and then there's like a ghoul that's trying to eat their souls.
What blanking completely.
Okay, so I actually really like this one. I'll put it in A.
I obviously rated it as an A, but I'm like totally blanking.
Well, I'll put it as an A. It's okay. It's really good.
Why can I not remember that one?
Yeah, it's really good. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I mean, I ranked it as A, so obviously I'm going to trust my past self.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's really good. Okay. The first segment on the 26th
is Wanted, Dead, Then Alive.
So this one actually, this segment makes me so uncomfortable watching it. And that it's a good thing, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, I was like, because, I put it as A tier.
Yeah, it's because watching Bart getting murdered over and over again
true.
brutally
it's rough.
is
like,
it's oh my.
Rough. It's very dark.
And it's very like almost graphic. It's like
it's very graphic, it's very dark, but then you're also like, well, it's just a cartoon, right? And like, but yeah, it is a little uncomfortable
just
and unsettling.
Hitting him over and over again with the sledgehammer is just like, whoa,
or even just the fact that he's like hanging out with this kid's dead body.
Oh yeah,
you're just like, wow, this is actually really dark.
Once he's like decomposed a little bit.
Yeah, he's like decomposing and he's still just hanging out with them. It's real creepy.
I'd put it under a terrifyingly terrific, to be honest.
This episode
because it's not spooky good time, but it's great.
More creeps about a dude hanging out with a cadaver than in Fast X. When
what?
If you've seen the newest
I haven't seen Fast X, no.
They made Jason Momoa a sociopath or a psychopath, whatever you want to call it. But it's not good either way. It's not a good representation. This episode gives me more of the creeps of someone hanging out with a cadaver than they did in that movie.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
For someone that hasn't seen Fast X, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put it under the Ned zone because these are the two violent ones.
Yeah.
That are so violent, but yeah. Okay. The next segment.
Homerzilla. This was like a very
Godzilla
parody, and they like went full black and white, like old school looking animation on this one as well. So I'd say spooky good time.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But like not anything better than that.
Right.
Like I like that they chose to do it in black and white. They chose to make it look older, which if they hadn't done that, I think this segment would have been absolutely like passable.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing spectacular about it, but
I mean, yeah, I'd agree.
It's just all right, but it's a fun little spooky one.
Yeah, it's got some fun little jokes, but yeah, past that. The next one,
the last segment is Telepaths of Glory, and this one was a parody of. I don't want to get it wrong because on
Chronicle.
Wikipedia, Chronicle. I was thinking Super 8.
Oh, ha ha ha!
Isn't it similar though?
No, not even slightly.
Really? Okay.
No. I mean, Super 8 is like a kind of found footage, but it's not found footage. Like
interesting. Okay.
Chronicle is.
I've never seen Chronicle, footage. And so I was thinking, oh, it's a Super 8.
It's actually really good.
Yeah. Either way,
I like it.
But like this segment was not my favorite.
Also, did not like the ending where Maggie just gets. Maggie's just
It didn't really make sense. The ending wasn't very satisfying.
I'd honestly put it under no fun, no scares.
Yeah, it wasn't that great for me.
Yeah, it's not that good. I didn't like it that much. I'd honestly put it like down here, low key.
Sure. Yeah, wherever you want to put it.
I'd rather watch the Genesis tub than that one. So the intro to 27 was the Christmas tree shopping. Frank Grimes shows up. The alien, one of the aliens, and then Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
I thought it was meh.
I put it as like, I think spooky good time, but I would probably be persuaded to put it lower. I don't know.
I honestly, I didn't really think it was that. I think it was more funny than scary.
Yeah.
I put it like right there.
Wasn't anything super notable, but it was all right.
All right. Now, past this house for this next one. Don't even need to talk about that one.
Dry Hard.
Yeah, that's right in there with the Avatar one. I actually really like Hunger Games, so don't get me wrong on this one. But this parody of it is just so dumb. It's so dumb. The ending is the stupidest ending I've seen. Apparently, Ralph is just an omnipotent god.
Yeah, it was a little too Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Anyways, the next one, they came off, with a bad one, but then had a really good one with BFFRIP.
Mm-hmm. I did like this one. Lisa has an imaginary friend from her childhood that kills everyone who claims to be her best friend.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool and creepy because I like that they really do keep you in the dark for a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And so you're like, what is happening? And so not that it's like super, super creepy, but like there's no obvious answer, which on a lot of them, you kind of know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And this one, you don't really know what's happening until the very end when you're like, oh, she has an imaginary friend that like doesn't want anyone else to be her best friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then Homer's best friend tries to show up and kill her, but she kills him and stuffs him in the microwave.
Yeah, senior hot dog.
Yeah, and then Homer ends up eating him out of the microwave.
General hot
Sergeant,
dog?
Sergeant Sausage.
Sergeant Sausage, that's what it was.
Sergeant Sausage.
Yeah. So, a spooky good time, terrifyingly terrific.
Yeah, spooky good time.
All right. I'd say it's like a good one, though. It's a good spooky good time.
A good one.
I'd put it above Island Dr. Hibbert, to be honest.
Yeah, sure.
And then Homer crying and eating his friend out of the microwave.
Eating hilarious. Sergeant Sausage out of the microwave.
Mofinger, which is a parody of Goldfinger / Kingsman, I think so.
Yeah, it was way more Kingsman than Goldfinger.
But obviously Homer's like villain character was the James Bond villain.
Well, it's hard though because Kingsman is a parody of James Bond, and so it's like a parody of a parody.
I mean, not necessarily. Kingsman is a graphic novel on its own,
but it's still kind of like playing on all those old spy.
Well, anyways,
movies. Anyway,
there's some like okay kills at the end. Otherwise, it's a pretty like honestly, I'd say no fun, no scares.
Yeah, it's all right, but it's another one of those that's like we're doing a parody, and so it's going to be in our Halloween episode, even though it has nothing to do with Halloween or being spooky.
Right, but I put it above WizKids at least.
It is a better parody than most.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to 28. All right. Down to the last 5. Okay, down to the last 5 here.
But also season 28.
The Sweets Hereafter intro?
Not the opener, but I'm talking about all the segments.
Oh yeah, this was a really good one.
I put every single one of the segments this year other than the opener as S tier.
Well, the opener was the Sausage Party parody where they were candy.
Yeah, which I was kind of like, ugh.
It was still like unique, kind of cool. I wouldn't put it that high.
I just don't care for like that animation style, and so I was kind of like, ugh.
Oh, okay.
But
well, I'll put it under more funny than scary.
Yeah, it was definitely more funny than scary. It was them just being little candies in a bowl.
Right. But yeah, moving on to the first segment.
Yeah, first segment, Exorcist. S tier for me. It was creepy. It was, like...
No, there definitely was.
Yeah.
When
it was dark.
When Homer got possessed by Pazuzu and started singing that, like, lullaby.
It's creepy when he's singing to Maggie. And and I'm like, I think the whole thing was great. And then even Maggie coming down and killing people at the parents' party. Mm-hmm. Also creepy and great.
Violent, yeah, for sure.
And it's violent. So yeah, I thought that one was an S tier one for me.
For sure.
Especially, and I don't know if that S tier is partially influenced by the fact that I watched it from the beginning to the end. And so it was like, wow, finally an episode that's not sucky.
I'll put it under terrifyingly terrific.
Yeah,
just because it's not better than these ones.
It's
but
true.
It's like,
it may not be better than those, but I think my S tier, I
rated
rated it S tier just because it felt like the first time in so many seasons where I was like actually enjoying myself.
Yeah, I highly recommend you watch it from the last towards the beginning next time.
Season 28 though is, I think they did really well,
which sucks because season 29 didn't really have that good.
I know. Yeah, and then Coralisa is the second segment.
Clearly S tier.
Yeah, clearly S tier. It was great. It was spooky.
The effort put into this was just
the animation was amazing.
Impressive.
I loved it. I thought it was really great. And it fits so well with the characters already. Like, it makes so much sense that obviously Lisa wants to get away from her family.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I think because it also seemed to fit so well, it didn't feel so out of place.
Yeah, no, also
that was a really good one.
This Homer doesn't pass gas. That was a 3-button job. And you literally see the other Homer like nod. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Last segment for this one.
Oh man, this segment makes me so uncomfortable.
I know, and I love it. It's called Homer, and Homer literally starts eating himself. And the first time I watched this episode, it did make me a little queasy. I was like, wow.
Yeah, seriously, I was so
and this one
too.
even had, I think, Marge coming out before, or someone. They actually warned the audience again, which was a great callback. Yeah, so Homer, absolutely S tier for me.
Right here, S tier?
S tier.
Okay,
it makes
really
you
good.
Uncomfortable. It's really good. They had the callback of Marge coming out in the curtain.
Before that segment? Oh, okay. I didn't even write that down.
And in the end, Homer's literally dead. They've eaten his entire body.
Yeah,
that's so true. Intense.
Yeah, and the scene where Marge walks in, literally catching Homer cooking his leg, that was the scene that got me, I think, the most, just because her reaction was almost too real for the cartoon.
There was a lot of it that was very real that they did in that episode that I feel like a lot of their other episodes don't really hit on, which I really like, and which is what made it so S tier for me. Like it was different, but and unsettling in a way that most of their episodes haven't been. So it
also reminded me of the movie Raw. Which is vegetarian that starts just liking eating raw meat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not nearly as bloody, but it just reminded me of that. It gave me that same feeling.
Yeah, and maybe that's kind of what they were.
I think so. I think that it was some. I don't know if that wasn't some sort of an inspiration for the episode. Then I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things that aren't there.
Yeah. Anyway, so S tier episode.
Yeah. No. Seriously, really good. Okay. So on to the Treehouse of Horror 30. This intro had a bit of a longer intro. Mm-hmm. It was a parody of The Omen.
I loved it. I loved the Omen one. I liked how the three bullies like literally hung themselves from the window and everything.
Yeah.
That was great. So, A tier for me. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite. Yeah, like I wouldn't say it's my favorite episode or opener ever, but like definitely A tier.
Yeah,
it was creepy, for spooky, sure. And
no, it was a really good intro. They definitely put a lot of effort into it, and yeah, 100%. I would give it A tier, terrifyingly terrific, at least.
Yes,
at least. Better than the Mayan intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the Fox censor is still just a little bit more entertaining.
Is still really funny to me.
Yeah, but
in a dark way.
That one was almost like its own segment.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird.
Too short to be its own segment.
Yeah. It's like right in that limbo zone. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that takes us to the very first segment of season 30, Treehouse of Horror 30.
Intrusion of the Potty Switchers. Mm-hmm. I did not like this one.
Oh, I am so sorry. The intro to The Omen is actually the 30th. I'm very sorry to everybody, but you know what? I'm just going to throw it up there because we already talked about it, so we don't have to do that one again.
What was the opener for 29?
The opening for 29 was the eating contest against Cthulhu. Which I actually also liked. I think I would also put that. I'd say it's more of a spooky good time, though.
Yeah. Okay. Spooky good time for that one.
Yeah.
And then,
but top of spooky good time. Yeah. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sorry. But yes, the first segment is Intrusion of the Potty Switchers. Obviously parody of Intrusion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
But this one ultimately in the end wasn't that good.
Yeah. The whole thing wasn't even that. Like there was maybe only a little bit of creepiness in the very, very beginning, and then it just ended up this weird environmental "don't look at your phone."
Yeah, no, I didn't like it that much.
It was meh to me.
It was
borderline past this house, but maybe just no fun, no scares. Like it wasn't that bad, but
it wasn't even that funny.
It wasn't even that funny. Yeah.
And honestly, the funny thing, I think it reminds me of The Greatest Story Ever Told.
It was very.
It reminds me
mediocre.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, it's very true. Very.
Where they end up going into the other world at the end, and it's like these. Yeah, very funny. All right. Anyways, on to the next one.
Multiplicity, which I put as B tier.
I didn't even like it that much.
Good time, but
It's a parody of Split, which isn't even. I mean,
Split.
it's a suspenseful movie. I don't know if it's a horror movie.
Yeah, but
per se. I mean, I will guess say maybe
it does kind of take you out of it a little bit. How Lisa always looks the same the whole time. Like they put her in different costumes, but like even when she's supposed to be the Beast or whatever, she doesn't look any different. She just looks like an 8-year-old girl. But she did impale Nelson with a forklift, so that's something.
I'd say maybe
turn Milhouse into a pilot.
But the thing is like it's not more funny than scary, and I wouldn't say it's a spooky good time either.
Really, you wouldn't say it's even a spooky good time? I don't know, like very
sure, just to see, Lisa kind of be all these different personalities, get a couple good kills in the end.
And honestly, when they left the jail cell and went to that place, that was the spooky part.
Okay.
Like when they were going down the hallway with all the weird things. Like that was spooky. It had some good ambiance in that one.
Okay. I mean, I put it at the bottom of spooky good times, so I feel like that's a good spot for it. All right, and then the last segment
is Geriatric Park, which is a somewhat of a parody of Jurassic Park, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Mr. Burns opens up a new old folks' home, but
for old people's DNA to be mixed with dinosaurs to give them a better life. But then when Homer visits, he turns up the thermostat, which clearly says to not turn up the thermostat, and they all turn into dinosaurs and end up. They just needed to be respected, and that's what they really needed the whole time.
Oh, man. Just another one of those kind of parodies. I'll put it along with the rest of them.
Yeah. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. Agree.
It was all right for the first time, and then after that, I'm like, meh.
Yeah. All right. Well, we already talked about the intro for season 30.
Yeah.
Or Treehouse of Horror 30. My bad.
Yeah, the Omen one. Okay.
Yep. But the first segment is Danger Things. I never watched Stranger Things.
Neither did I.
Oh, okay, cool. So, it wasn't that good for me. Just because
this is a hot take, but I'm like not having watched Stranger Things. It wasn't my favorite segment. Like on its own, I feel like it doesn't stand very well on its own. Not really knowing anything about the franchise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it had some spookiness going on, but like the story itself was kind of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, the last two segments for this one as well, they're almost like past this house for me. Like just no fun, no scares. Like Heaven swipes right. Homer keeps switching bodies to get someone hot for Marge.
Right. Yeah.
And then, she ends up with Moe's body. I forget how he died.
I don't even remember how he died.
But yeah, so he dies, and then like he is given the opportunity to switch into somebody else's body, and then they just keep switching bodies until Marge is satisfied, and then it turns out she ends up with Moe's body with Homer's essence.
Okay,
just random. And then the last one is When Harry Met Slimy, which is a Shape of Water parody, and also just weird because it's just one of those little weird aliens again.
King and Selma.
Sorry, King and Selma, but not my favorite. It just was kind of like, okay, like this is weird. Which I've heard Shape of Water is a little weird too, but also just like watching it with King and Selma is even more uncomfortable, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't that good. No. I think it should go right here next to the other bad parodies.
Yeah, 31.
This is another intro with the voting booth. Another politics. I'll just go ahead and put it right next to that one.
Put politics in the regular episodes. Keep it out of the Halloween ones.
Don't put politics in the episodes. It's a cartoon.
Yeah, but there are other episodes. It's like their thing. They're a satire cartoon. But I'm like, but not for Halloween. But they're supposed to be Halloween.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be satirical against politics in general. I hate it when they take a side. That's when it's the most annoying.
Fair, but yeah, I don't know. I just
either
think
either side.
Sure, but I think in general they should just keep it out of the Halloween episodes. Like, why does it? Like, even though it's in November or whatever, like, just keep it out of the Halloween ones.
Yeah,
I
don't know. Apparently, it was Doomsday, but. Yeah, the first segment of that one.
Toy Gory, which was quite good.
Yeah, I agree.
And very eerie good at the end, especially when they just left Bart. Like, I was surprised how long they actually, like, had Bart just sitting around as this hollowed out body.
A tier at least, yeah. If not S tier. I think honestly, I think it goes right behind Coralisa.
Oh, I don't know if I would put it in S tier for me.
It was so good. It not only was it a great parody of Toy Story, kind of flipping it on its head because it's Bart. Bart does, of course, destroy all of his toys, but then you get to see them like brutally kill Bart, you know? And then, like you mentioned, just keep his dead body around. It's pretty, like, horrific.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can keep it there if you want.
All right.
It wasn't my favorite. Like, it was good, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
It's not one of those ones that I love watching over and over again.
All right. Then I'll move it to A tier. Ooh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess when I start looking at A tier, you know.
Like, it's
I'll put it right behind School as Hell.
Okay.
I still enjoy School as Hell a lot.
And then second segment was Into the Homerverse, which was like entertaining, but not the best either for me.
Yeah, ultimately,
like, I love Into the Spider-Verse, but like Homer's and then what was it, Mr. Burns? It was just
right.
It was just all right. Like, okay, that was a lot of nothing, and then
I don't even know if
it ended.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd put it in more funny than scary because I don't remember that many jokes.
Yeah, it was very much just playing on the different cartoon characters, and if it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't.
Sadly,
a lot of the jokes didn't land. I feel like, at least not with me. Okay, and then the last segment of Treehouse 431 was B9 Rewind, which I think is simultaneously a parody of Russian Doll and also Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
They pull from a little bit from both of those.
I would say it's pretty good.
It was a pretty good one, but it was another one of those stories that it's really hard to put a story with that much going on in it in such a short segment. So it was a little rushed, and so you try to see as many deaths as you can, and then also they're trying to help each other, and also it's like it was very quick, and you're kind of trying to keep up with like what's going on and why, you know. I just feel like it felt a little rushed to me.
Right.
But it was good. I still liked it.
Yeah, it was good. I would say it's a spooky good time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It was pretty good. I mean, it was one of the better spooky good times, I'd say. Yeah, I'd put it like right under. Do you think it's better than There's No Business Like Mo Business?
Yeah.
It's better than that one? Okay, cool. I'd put it right under that.
Okay.
All right. That brings us to Treehouse of Horror 32. So the intro is Barty. It's the parody of Bambi.
The Bambi one.
And then obviously Mr. Burns gets skewered on Homer's antlers. It's okay. I mean, it's a little shorter.
Spooky good time.
Yeah, sure, I'd say. But is Bambi really that spooky?
I don't know. I guess it just makes me feel sad more than.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's,
it made me sad, but I guess that's, somewhat in the vein of scared.
Sure. But I'm going to put it at the bottom of Spooky Good Time,
Bambi.
Though. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll put it at the bottom there.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. The first segment is This Side of Parasite. I'm not really that big of a fan of this one.
It was all right. I would say that there's a lot of good deaths in it. And as far as like the story and theming being consistent throughout the whole episode, like you've got that. I would say like spooky good time. I don't think it was no fun, no scares. But
yeah, I mean, I guess everybody kills each other at the end, similar to Mofinger. But where do we put Mofinger in No Fun, No Scares?
But Mofinger was like. But it was lighthearted, and they played the dumb song in it to be like a parody of the Kingsman.
Yeah.
But like at least this one, it was supposed to be like a kind of eerie, metaphorical whatever.
I also think it doesn't hit as hard if you haven't seen the movie.
Very true. I have not actually watched that movie yet, even though I've heard it's incredible. And I feel like it was one
too
of
much
those that
story.
It was like,
too
much story,
short.
not enough time. Where I was kind of like, I don't really understand what's going on, other than like I think I get the whole.
All right, I'll throw another multiplicity there.
Yeah.
This episode actually had 4 segments.
Yes.
Maybe it's because the intro was a little bit shorter, or maybe I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
Because the Telltale Bart is really short.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped ahead though. The next one is actually Nightmare on Elm Tree.
Yeah, which.
Yeah, also
very forgettable.
Honestly, it's just another version of Attack of the 55 Eyesores, but it's honestly not as good.
Yeah, it's even worse than that one.
It's not even good.
The trees are angry that we kill them at Christmas, and that's what it was.
If you want to see angry trees, go watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they were better.
Or even Prince Caspian. It's a good movie.
I haven't seen that one in forever.
Narnia?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in forever.
It's actually surprisingly good.
I don't
holds up pretty well. All right, anyways, The Telltale Bart is a parody of The Telltale Heart, read by a Vincent Price impersonator, because he's dead.
Yeah.
Unless it's his AI.
A tier for me.
Yeah, I agree. This one's really good. The animation, the whole spooky vibe.
Short. It was very, very short, but I loved it.
I would compare it to The Raven. I would say it's about right there.
Comparable to The Raven.
Yeah.
I say better than The Raven. I didn't like The Raven nearly as much. But...
No. Sorry. Not going to pass here. Anyways, the last segment of 32 was Dead Ringer.
And I loved this one.
This one's really good.
S tiers.
Ooh, S tier, huh?
I put it in S tier because I loved it. I thought it was creepy throughout. They didn't, make the storyline jokey in the middle.
It's kind of jokey at the end.
Well, it's only, she goes and decides to kill herself rather than being Lisa's friend. It's funny.
That's funny.
But, yeah. But it's but they still kind of keep with the theming throughout the whole thing. It's like the story itself, they didn't change to a joke. She still was trying to help her the whole time.
No, I get it. But is it really S tier? I'd be willing to put it in Terrifyingly Terrific. I don't think it's better than Toy Gory.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll put it right under that, though.
Getting to the nitty-gritty now.
Yeah, these, don't get me wrong, these segments are really good, but
Dead Ringer is a really good one.
Just comparing Dead Ringer to these are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Maybe just because it's newer, it's not, sunk in well enough yet, but... I don't know.
I still loved it, but
it's really good. Don't get me wrong.
It was one of the first real good spooky ones, in my opinion, after a long nonsense.
Yeah.
So
no, seriously.
That kind of maybe that influences my opinion.
It would be one good one episode.
Yeah.
One good segment each episode.
Yeah. But we are getting into a pretty good season. Season 33. Season 34. Treehouse of Horror 33.
Arguably
one of the best
best, if not tied for the best.
Yeah. Amazing.
So I guess I'll just cut straight to it. Honestly, the intro, they skipped it, so we're going to skip it.
Yeah.
There's no intro on this one.
There's no intro, but I don't blame them because of the segments. They
took their time. Oh, man, it was great.
I loved it. So we start, the first segment is the Pookadook, which is absolutely, almost actually terrifying.
Yeah, it's almost scarier than Nightmare Cafeteria.
Scarier. Yeah, it's actually scary.
As a mother, Simpsons though, I bet you can find it even more scary.
No, absolutely. Being a mom now, it's even worse. But even if I wasn't, it's still very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing, they really keep to the scariness of it, and they don't really let up on it a lot.
Yeah, no, I've seen the Babadook, and this one, it's not only is it a really good parody, but it's actually pretty freaky.
Yeah,
I'd put it
was a really good
right
segment.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the other ones? Death Tome.
Yeah, Death Tome, for me, absolutely
above
Coralisa.
Well.
I loved the anime that they did. I think that the Shinigami was amazing, and how they didn't make the Shinigami any other character I thought was really good.
It was Mo.
But very obviously, like, it wasn't super obvious to me.
I mean, I thought it was super obvious to everybody.
Really?
I mean, it was obviously his voice, and he kind of looked like him.
But no, but he looked like the Shinigami in the show to me.
Right.
Like, he looked very similar in that way. But, like, for me, I was like, I can't actually pinpoint. Like, they didn't make it so over the top that it was that character.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't cartoony in that way. Where it's like, it was actually, I don't know.
Ooh, but let me ask you this. Is it a Halloween horror classic? Or is it terrifyingly terrific?
Okay, I guess I would have to concede that it was not a horror Halloween classic.
Yeah.
It is definitely terrifyingly terrific, though.
Yeah. And that also kind of brings us into the next one, which has the ultimate, utmost love, putting it at the very top of More Funny Than Scary. Not because it's bad, but just because there's nothing Halloween, there's nothing scary spooky about it, but it's a great segment.
It is a great segment with a lot of fan service.
Yeah, 100% fan service.
Which I love, and I'm totally into it, but it wasn't scary, it wasn't Halloween. Mm-hmm. It wasn't spooky at all. I mean, there was a little bit of that sci-fi element to it, but it was definitely an episode more for seeing every iteration,
joke,
like every
meme.
Joke and iteration of the Simpsons characters.
Yeah,
all of the memes.
I loved the
get in the hedge.
Yes, I was literally about to say the people who got eaten by the hedge. The Bart going testing, exploding all of the things.
It was great.
Yeah, no, great segment. Fan service episode. Mm-hmm. So that's why it gets a lovingly spot at the top of the More Funny Than Scary.
Yeah. We put it there with love.
Anyways, that's actually not all. We do have 3 non-Treehouse of Horror Halloween episodes that we're going to kind of rank. We have Not It.
Yes.
Which is a parody of, what was it?
I forget the name. Anyway.
All right. Anyways,
it was
the episode's really good. I've read the book. I've seen the miniseries from the 90s. I've seen both movies, and honestly, I really liked it. And I would put
it was a very good one
as a Halloween horror classic.
Yeah. All right. I'll agree with you on that one. It is a really good
really good.
I mean, yeah, Stephen King is
of
Halloween
course
horror like
master.
Classic anyway, and so like any parody, and they did a really good, fairly serious parody of it, which I really liked.
Yeah, so, no, they took it seriously, and I like that.
And they made Krusty scary. They didn't just make him all jokey the whole time.
No, but there were some great jokes.
There were some great jokes, but they like made him creepy in it.
Oh, and the way Comic Book dies at the end, his wound after he gets stabbed is very brutal, very true. Family Guy brutal.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just stepping up their game a little bit. The next one, honestly, I'm going to put this one last. The next one is Halloween of Horrors. This is where Lisa gets too scared at Krusty Land during Halloween, obviously a spoof of Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah. This episode is also really good.
I would say
it's got the home invasion storyline that's actually kind of creepy.
Classic for me.
Honestly, I agree.
Because it also takes place on Halloween, about Halloween.
The Simpsons are celebrating Halloween and acknowledge that they're super big fans of Halloween.
Yeah, I loved it.
I put it right behind Not It.
They're in your house, basically, like one of those.
They did make it kind of creepy with Homer actually being scared and being honest with Lisa, them actually having to signal for help.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I liked it.
I loved Halloween After Dark for the adults.
Yes.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
And then, so the last one here is Thanksgiving of Horrors. So it's a Thanksgiving horror classic. So we're just gonna, give this kind of an honorable spot on the S tier.
It's S tier, even though it's not Halloween, because I am so impressed with them making an entirely Thanksgiving episode that is horror, and I cannot not laugh my entire way through the first segment where they just gobble the whole time. I can't. And you're scared for them. And
it's so funny.
Intense. It's such an intense segment.
Yep.
But it
the story of for the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
And then you've got like a segment in there that's a Black Mirror parody, which is also intense, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what some of these other ones
the
were.
other one was an Alien parody.
And, Alien.
With the cranberry sauce.
The
very last appearance of I'm so sorry, I can't remember her name, but she was the voice of Martin Prince. That was the very last episode that she voiced him. Very sad. Now she's actually voiced by Gray Delisle. She's the voice of Azula.
Oh,
she's a queen of animation voice acting.
Know she's
okay. Not only she Azula, but she's everything. She's a part of the Simpsons cast.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she voices. I'm pretty sure Sherry, Terry. I know she voices Martin. She voices.
That's so funny.
No, it's one of her voice is one of those voices I can always pick up on.
Yeah.
Anyways, great episode. Honestly,
great
perfect
segments. This also had 3 segments and then an opener. But yeah, all just incredible for being a Thanksgiving horror episode. I just think, like, they really broke the mold on that one, and they did it really well.
Good on them. Shout out for them. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. I will welcome any sort of other holiday horror episodes if they want to bring it.
Krampus episode. Do a Krampus episode. That'd be great.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so we're actually going to do something kind of funny. So we're going to pause our recording here and go watch the season 35.
Yeah, season 35
episode of Treehouse of Horror 34. Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to come back and rate those segments.
Yeah.
For you real quick, just to kind of get you an updated list here. We don't want to be outdated. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my recording here. All right. Well, we're back. We just watched Treehouse of Horror episode, or Treehouse of Horror 34. Overall, what were your thoughts?
It was good. I liked it. I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. It was definitely a couple of funny segments. The first one is Wild Barts Can't Be Token.
I feel like we should at least know another season with no opener.
Yeah, but they're obviously
opener this season.
They're obviously planning to focus a little more time on the segments this time.
I guess so.
But they did actually do something kind of cool where instead of having the title card first, they actually had a bit of the segment, like around 2-3 minutes, and then the title card on each of the segments. Yeah. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, the first one is Wild Barts Can't Be Token. Bart gets turned into an NFT.
Yep. And gets stuck on the blockchain. Marge has to go rescue him.
Yeah, so it has a little bit of Snowpiercer in there.
Yeah.
It's ultimately, it was pretty funny.
It was very funny.
It's definitely going to be dated.
It's going to get dated so quickly because it focused on the NFTs.
But they focused on that.
It's funny because the end of the episode literally, it says, oh no, we're not popular anymore, and they all just die. But still just like the episode itself or the segment itself is going to be very dated.
Right. I put it right there. So around here. Mm-hmm. It made me laugh a few times out loud. It definitely had some pretty funny parts. But this next segment was definitely my favorite. It was 8, a parody of 7.
It was one of the more violent ones that I think they've
done. So brutal. So
which
basically,
is pretty intense.
This segment was an alternate timeline where Sideshow Bob actually kills Bart. Not only is the murder of Bart pretty vicious, but the rest of the segment has some gruesome deaths. I'm digging it though. I'm like,
it was pretty cool.
It was so good. I was very happy with it.
I really liked it.
S tier?
I still think it was only terrifyingly terrific. I don't think it's one of those ones that will make a Halloween classic. It was really good.
I liked it because they incorporated the classic Simpsons episode into it and kind of went an alternate timeline. First of all, I really liked that idea.
Yeah.
And second, it was very ominous the whole time, very brutal, violent deaths. I would say it was a really good parody. I don't know. I'd put it right here, at the bottom.
All right. We'll put it right about there.
Bottom of S tier. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah, which honestly, sadly, made the third segment
a little more disappointing.
Yeah, it's called Lout Break. Essentially, everybody, after Homer eats a radioactive donut that rolls all throughout the power plant, another gross out little gag there. It wasn't, I mean, the gag got old pretty quick, I'd say, of everybody turning into the Homers.
Yeah, he belched on everyone and made them into Homer until everyone was Homer, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, yeah, it was funny, but it wasn't my favorite one ever.
I'd put it like sad. Right there, which is good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, about kind of towards the end of More Funny Than Scary.
Yeah, it had some good jokes and everything, but yeah, as far as like
seeing Marge Homerfied was hilarious. I gotta say, that was so very funny. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is it. Oh man, well, we got through it. Thank you for anybody who watched this whole thing, got through this with us. Maybe our opinions are the same, maybe they're different. I would love to hear any other opinions. I always love talking about The Simpsons. So, but yeah, thank you so much again. Make sure to, comment, like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed.
Like and subscribe.
Thanks. Yeah, this is a little bit of a newer channel, so I'm kind of trying to get it going here. But yeah, I just appreciate all of the support. I know all the people that watched are probably huge Simpsons fans, so let's go. But yeah, this is our list here. If you want to kind of look at it, I think we have a pretty solid list.
I like our list.
It's
good.
Yeah, I would say we gave a pretty fair ruling against most of them.
We can only say as fair as we can be.
Right. Obviously, it's obviously mostly opinion, but our opinion is fact, so it's okay.
Right.
I mean, you just got to know that this is the definitive list. All right. So, anyways, thank you so much. Make sure to tune in for the next video. But thanks. Deuces.